877-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Welcome in, Roc and Manuch, today with Laz and Connor out here at Wright Toyota, right on the corner, right on Price. Always a loaded Friday here on Roc and Manuch. But the big news that hit, which I don't think it's that big a deal, but some people think it is, that Kyler Murray is out for the year. Jonathan Gannon addressed it this morning. And we're going to get right to the sounds. You can hear it from the coach. And here's Coach Gannon with this breaking news.
Kyler will not play again this year. So he has some more tests done this week. Went out of state, got another opinion on it. It's not progressing where it's going to make sense that he can go. So he's going to be done for the year.
Shocker.
I think we all kind of expected that, Roc, did we not? I think
Absolutely.
we all kind of felt.
I didn't know. I didn't know he was coming back.
I didn't either. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I think we all felt, hey, look, what was he going to do, play 2 games? What would that do? You're out of the playoffs. We're going to do backup Jacoby Brissett. I just felt that if he's a guy that's on the trading block, whether he gets 2 opinions, 3 opinions, or whatever, he's not coming back. And I don't think this is a surprise to anybody. I think he just verbalized it to say for sure that he's not going to come back. He's not going to be, not going to be a part in reference to anytime soon. So he's moving on. I believe somebody asked him, is he your quarterback for 2026? And he said, hey, I'm on to this LA Rams team. So I think, hey, look, folks, when they put him on IR and we saw him out there practicing a little bit, and then they said it wasn't coming or progressing like they thought it would be, and they put him on IR, I went, that's it. That's done. I mean, he's not going to be coming back. They don't want him to get hurt if they're looking to trade him, which I feel they are. So they don't want to put him in harm's way. If he's already damaged goods, let him heal up. Maybe about sometime in January where he's completely healed, they trade him and they move on. And I think that's pretty much what everybody out there was thinking.
So he played 5 games. He was 110 of 161 in passes, 962 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He did rush for a touchdown and 173 yards. So he's been out since that injury in week 5. I guess there was hope during the IR window that he could return, but of course they made that decision today, at least officially. As you just heard Gannon said, his foot isn't healing properly, and he got a couple opinions. And now we would short term, I think what it means for the Cardinals short term is the Cardinals will, of course, will proceed with Brissett under center, and they'll just keep going with the game plan that they've been doing the last few weeks. Long term, of course, Gannon didn't commit, as you mentioned. Now there's uncertainty that we all know if he's going to be here or not be here. So, I think the Cardinals have been trying to assess backup plans, contingency options, and things like that. But it's just unfortunate that they're just getting beat up by these injuries. Marvin Harrison's going to be out this week.
Yeah, you got Marv out, you got Nolan out, you got Melton out, you got Dortch out. So there's 4. I think there's one more that's going to be out in this game. And quite frankly, this team has taken a knife to a gunfight with all these games. And if you're Jacoby Brissett, just keep your head on a swivel, get the ball out. And, when Marv Harrison Jr. is out, you got Michael Wilson and Trey McBride do a pretty good job. Their combination of a duo threat is pretty good. Problem is, you're taking on this very good Rams defense that could double McBride. You could probably go single coverage, but you also have Brian Young, the number 0, the terror that is as far as linebacker with 10 sacks for this Rams team. That will be all over Jacoby Brissett. But to your point, Roc, yes, they're damaged goods. Got to go out there and play the hand you're dealt.
So, you're a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Yes.
They still don't have a long-term quarterback answer. You think it could be a fit for Kyler?
It just depends. I
they
believe
have cap flexibility.
Sure. I think with his offense, it's more of a drop-back offense. If that's what they stick with. If they feel if he goes to Pittsburgh, they can roll him out more, waggle him more, play act, whatever. I think they could do that. He's got DK Metcalf. He's there. Roc, it really depends on the pro. Everybody's going back to the pro-style offense. You're not seeing as much spread, RPO. You do once in a while, but these coaches don't want to put their quarterbacks in harm's way at all. So I think there's a lot of spots he could go to. It's just a matter of, can they do plug and play? Or is that coordinator got to go, you know what, I like him, but I've got to do this, I got to do that. If they got to change their schemes and the things they do within their offense, then they'll pass on. They will.
Minnesota's another team that's been rumored. You know, Kevin O'Connor, he's quarterback friendly. He may be able to do something there. I mean, they got some weapons there. O'Connell, excuse me. They have some weapons there, too. You wonder if Kyler gives them the juice they need to maybe, you know, job security is important for O'Connell.
They really, with McCarthy, he's still a work in progress. I mean, that might be a good fit to bring him in. You're picking up his salary. JJ's still under a rookie contract, so there's no worries there. The kid that's a backup is another one of those individuals that you don't have to worry about. But I think if O'Connell figures he can do some of the stuff he did with Matthew Stafford, that might fit. Because you think when O'Connell was with the Rams and when they won that Super Bowl, you saw Matthew Stafford roll out. You saw him waggle. You saw him bootleg. They can do a lot of that, but he's still a drop back pro-style offense. It just depends on if he fits what they want to do, what they want to accomplish. Now he's a good quarterback coach. He's a good QB guru. I mean, look what he did with Stafford when he came into LA. Look what he did with Kirk Cousins. Look what he did last year with Sam Darnold. I mean, there's things he could do. It's just a matter of, is he that prototypical guy we want, since we're going back to the way it was, 8-10 years ago.
What do you think about Cleveland?
Well, I think they're happy with Shedeur. I think that the whole Watson, Shedeur, Sanders, Gabriel thing it's just a mystery to me. It really is, and I doubt they draft anybody. We kind of beat that up yesterday. We're going to catch up with Munch Bishop on Tuesday in Cleveland. He's not fond of all the above.
Yeah.
But I think when you talk about Cleveland, they're going to need to go Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. They're going to see how Deshaun Watson, how he works out these last 3 or 4 games, bring him into training camp, and just kind of go with those 3 and let the best man win. Now, best man will probably be Deshaun Watson. I mean, if you want my gut feeling. But I think for Kyler, I look at a Miami. I even look at him, if he would accept the backup role for a year or two. Penix gets hurt a lot in Atlanta, does he not?
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, I think he's on his way out. I would look at that, but you can't keep Cousins and then bring in Murray because of their contracts. You just can't.
Yeah, that's the big part about this is who's got that cap flexibility. I mean, Raiders, Jets, they both could probably use a guy like Kyler Murray.
I think the Raiders, they're going to look to draft somebody. I think they'll go to the best available. They might move up to go get their franchise quarterback. I think Geno Smith is on his last days. The other quarterbacks there. I think again, if Pete Carroll stays, I think he does. I think they'll look at another bigger prototypical quarterback. It's just his size and his ability, what he can and can't do in the pocket more than anything, Rock. Those are some of the things that these teams are going to look at. Now, are the Cardinals going to trade him before the draft? That's the trade deadline is before the draft. Excuse me, the free agent market will be before the draft. So I would think that they'd have to make some kind of move, that being the Cardinals. But you can always wait till after the draft as well, too.
Got a couple State 48 Roofing Get Your Call questions today. The first one, who do you feel will have the best chance at an upset? Is it Indiana over Ohio State, BYU over Texas Tech, Alabama over Georgia, or Duke over Virginia? I'm taking Duke. And then number 2, did the Suns make the right move trading Kevin Durant? Your choices are yes, needed it to reset and build younger. 2, no, should have kept KD with Booker. 3, ask me again when Jalen Green plays more than one game. Or 4, doesn't matter. This roster wasn't winning a title anyway. So you can go vote at Roc and Manuch on Twitter, Instagram. Find us on Facebook. We're on YouTube as well. So you can find us there. Those are your 2 Get Your Call questions. Thanks to State 48 Roofing. Coming up this hour, we will catch up with Erik Williams, who covers the NFC West for Fox Sports. He will join us in about 15 minutes. We got Eric Moses in hour number 2, the executive director and CEO of the Fiesta Sports Foundation. Kevin Rowe with his weekly picks. Scott Spreitzer, our handicapper. And then Mark May in hour number 3. So we're stacked today. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. We're going to dive into our replay rewind that we do. And you're going to hear a little DeBoer on Penn State, Ibuka on Ohio State's title shot, Campbell on Detroit's statement last night, and then Parsons calling out Chicago. So that's all coming up right here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
At Stretch Lab, it's not just athletes getting better. It's everyday people moving and feeling their best. Each one-on-one session is customized to you, guided by certified flexologists who help improve mobility, flexibility, and recovery. Whether you're chasing touchdowns or chasing the kids, Stretch Lab keeps you loose, strong, and ready for anything. Stretch your potential today. Find your nearest location at stretchlab.com.
Attention golf lovers and putting enthusiasts. Are you ready to elevate your game? At Putting World, we've got cutting-edge technology that'll have you sinking putts like a pro. With high-tech simulators and expert coaches, you'll be on your way to mastering that tricky six-footer in no time. Check us out at puttingworld.com. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or a newbie who thinks a hole-in-one is just a fancy donut, there's a place for you at Putting World. Eat it, drink it, sink it. Putting World. Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000 Mondays. Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Now it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Rock decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
All right, let's start in the SEC. Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer was asked point blank about the Penn State job and all the rumors floating around. Here's how he handled it on SEC Now.
We're extremely happy at Alabama. It's the first time I've been asked, so I appreciate you, Charlie. And we're extremely happy here. Love the challenge, love the grind, love this place. And there's never been any link. There's never been any conversation. There's never been any interest either way. And so I'm glad we can put that to bed right now.
Where does that come from? Where does that, a guy ask that, where's he getting that from? Because he's at Alabama. Why would you leave Alabama to go to Penn State?
Money.
I mean, yeah, I get it, but still.
What's there to get? But
Well,
money.
SEC, the big boy football in the SEC.
Money.
all the above. But I don't know if that. I'd have said, well, where did you hear that? Because I have had no recollection, no talk to anybody. Where would you have heard that, Charlie? I'm just curious. So
the media is just trying to get a soundbite. I mean, we're talking about it because this reporter asked the question.
If you're going to ask it, well, I had heard because of blah blah blah. You don't have to reveal your sources, but I just like to know, unless somebody did speak to DeBoer, and DeBoer is like, "Hey, I'm staying here," and he just kind of skirts over it and doesn't. He didn't acknowledge. He said, "No, I'm staying here. I'm good to go." Unless Charlie goes, "Well, we had heard that you had talked to so and so and so and so." At that point, DeBoer just, "No, I love it here. Moving here. Move on. I'm going to dispel that rumor right now."
All right, over in Columbus, former Buckeye wideout Emeka Ibuka knows what championship week feels like. He was asked about Ohio State's huge matchup against Indiana on Saturday. Great perspective here. Listen to this.
I'm excited to be able to be a fan. Actually, it's there's you miss the scarlet and gray, and you miss playing in an atmosphere like that. But being able to watch the guys who I grind with and work with, and I know how much they put into the game, and seeing them reap the benefits of it, just means the world to me. So.
You think of number one versus number two. Back in the day, boy, this is a great matchup. It's just a conference championship in order to get to the playoffs. Look how far we've come. That 10 years ago, Ohio State, Indiana, January 1st or January 6th, in the final for the what was it called? The CP. What was our
BCS?
Yeah, the BCS. It's a BCS. What a great matchup this is from the Big Ten. Everybody and their mother fits here at the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. We're like, man, everybody's going to be your red, scarlet, gray. But now that's nothing more than a Big Ten championship. How far we've come.
Oh, big time. All right, let's move on to the NFL. Detroit made a statement last night, knocking off the Cowboys, and head coach Dan Campbell sounded fired up afterward. Here's his reaction to that win.
Challenged a number of our guys. Man, they really showed up for us. So that's a damn good win. That team is hot. That was a hot team coming in here. That's a potent offense. And, was it perfect? No. We still got some stuff that wasn't good. We had some of these penalties. We had some young guys that we got to clean some of this up, false starts, stuff like that. But we overcame a lot. And that's what this team does. So I'm proud of them.
I told you the first one to 42 wins, Rock, yesterday.
I don't remember you saying that.
I said that first one. I said these both teams are hot. It could be a shootout at the OK Corral.
Never heard you say first one to 42.
I did. Did I not say that?
You said 42?
Yeah, I said
on the air, or was it off the air?
On the air.
You can say it. I'm right here.
You can say it, lad. You can put a headset on there.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, it was.
I vaguely remember it.
Vaguely.
He said there would be a shootout. They would score a lot of points.
Would you put? Yeah, but did he say 42?
I did.
I wouldn't put my life on it, but I would say he did say 40 something, or yeah.
But he
42.
didn't say 42.
I did say 42. I
Connor?
said first one to 42.
I
Connor,
plead the fifth.
You recollect that yesterday? Bringing that out there. First one to 42 wins because I was giving your Cowboys some love.
All the times that you think you said something right or you predicted something, you never go the opposite. All the things that you go wrong.
Yeah, I pooped the bed on a couple pictures.
We could go look back and we'll take a
take a
look
look at it.
Don't waste your time. It's not that important. All right, in Green Bay, Micah Parsons was asked about his issues with the Bears, and he says it's not personal, it's not rivalry-driven, it's about something else entirely. Here's Micah Parsons explaining.
I believe in having my, rivalries are for the people. It's for the fans. For me, it's just going out there, just dominant. I just don't like him just because, I just see the disrespect that comes with things, and that's what I say. I play for respect. You know how to earn someone's respect. There's no better feeling than coming in the game and their best players is coming up to you okay. That's respect. I tell you, hell of a job. You gotta go out there and take it. Respect is something that's earned, and these people want to come here and they want to meet us in our house, and we got to eventually go there. That's someone comes on your own. What would you say? So it's that type of. It's a respect thing, especially losing a couple games at home and the way we lost them in fashion. I think we had to come together as a defense to get our respect back.
I think what he's saying is that, hey, look, it's about time we kicked in. We need to get these victories. The Bears just kind of happen to be in our way, and I played for guys to respect me. I also play to win. So I think you got 5 games to go, and you got these rivalries. I mean, a lot of reporters are asking you, peppering you with all kinds of questions. I think at some point, just go, hey, look, we got to play better. We got to win some games here at home. And what else can a guy say? At some point, you start to run out of things to say.
Yeah, you do.
With 5 games
You
to
would,
go.
but
Well, I would.
most people, yeah, you always.
I mean, I'll answer that question for you. I'll get you.
By the way, the high tomorrow in Green Bay is 21.
You see the
So that all weekend.
-5 for the lows in that area.
I'm sorry, Sunday's going to be a high of 18.
Yeah.
Low
Frigid.
-5.
Yeah, -5 low. That is nuts. I watch that weather.
I know you do, but why were you looking in Green Bay?
Because I saw this big tropical freeze out coming from Canada, coming down to the Midwest and going to the Northeast.
All right, finally, Philadelphia head coach Nick Sirianni addressed the criticism coming from fans and media. This is how he says he deals with pressure.
We get angry when we lose. And there are so many different things that can grab your attention, and your job and your focus has to be on where you are and really, to be quite frank, the best thing to do is be able to block everything out. I know that's not necessarily a reality of our world with social media, with, how much we have access to, everything like that. But, it is being able to block it out as much as you can. It's not good for me if I read it. It's not good. And I say that in both when you're winning and when you're losing. It's not good for me to read, any of your tweets, any of a fan's tweets, any article in anything.
The thing that cracks me up is they're up by 2 games in the NFC East. And yeah, you might be going through a funk, but they're
bad.
The world champions. They're
playing
struggling.
bad, Manuch.
Yeah.
I'm an Eagles fan. They're playing bad.
I've watched them too.
The last 2 games were just horrible.
But here's the thing.
They're going to probably lose in LA on Monday night.
Chargers. Yeah, I think that everybody needs to relax because you saw this last year. They came out of their funk and they won a world title.
Yeah, the funk wasn't like this, Manuch. They cannot move the ball. Their offense sucks.
They had no offense the first 4 games last year. They had none. They were looking to throw.
All right, it's a little bit
quarterback out of town.
I know they started the season 2-2, but that's different. Okay, that's the first quarter of the season. Now we're in the last quarter of the season, and they're playing like crap.
I would say the problem this year is where you started to gain traction was about this time last year.
Okay, well, that's not going on. It's the opposite.
But here's the thing. Not that they can't. The problem is if they can't get Saquon Barkley going again like they did last year, then they will really struggle. That's the key. If you can't get him going again like last year, then they'll make the playoffs, they'll make the wild card, but they won't get far if they can't get Saquon going.
All right, today's Replay Rewind is brought to you by the law offices of Lerner in Rowe. In a wreck, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always at lernerandrowe.com. Again, the phone number 602-977-1900. So there is our rewind for today. Some real big games we're going to really dive into a little bit later. You want to stick around about an hour, we'll have Scott Spreitzer. And he will, handicap all the college games, BYU, Texas Tech, Georgia, Alabama, Indiana, Ohio State, Duke, and Virginia. And then, of course, we'll get him to do the Rams at the Cardinals. Selection Sunday, we'll find out who's coming to the Valley, at least for the Rape Bowl, which is at the end of December at Chase Field. We'll talk to Erik Moses here at the top of the hour. And kind of different. Selection Sunday is pretty big for us, the bowl. I mean, we have a big event and everybody's there and the Yellow Jackets and all that. But we're not going to know who we have in the bowl, because it's a semi. So it kind of takes away some of the, and then
the juice.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's the way this playoff works now. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. It works.
And Erik will be joining us from Indianapolis. He'll be back there for the Big Ten championship game tomorrow night. 6 o'clock our time. One thing we failed to mention, you were talking about DeBoer not going to Penn State. Matt Campbell, Iowa State head coach, is now going to be the coach for Penn State. He looks like he's moving on.
He is ideal for that job.
He is.
I thought he would get it done. He got the job. That's great. I think that is a great fit. He did such a great job at Minnesota, and he's got that Tressel kind of look.
Yeah.
You know, Coach Tressel looks all suited up all the time and
Focused.
Yeah. And I think he's going to do a great job. The fan base are going to love him. It's a good hire.
Yeah, real good hire. And our Cats got our guy, Colin Klein, going to be the head coach at Kansas State, former offensive coordinator. Well, he will still coach A&M through the playoffs, but Colin Klein now the head coach at Kansas State University. The prodigal son coming back.
That's a crap job.
That's a great job. Well,
to do it, Manhattan. Do you guys have McDonald's?
We do.
You do.
We got Vista Burger, Mickey D's, got Hardee's.
They're just one. Is that how small the town is?
No, we got about 55,000 people there. Probably about 20,000 students.
What's that the size of here, maybe?
It might be like, well,
Model?
It might be, Maricopa, size of Maricopa.
Okay.
55, 60,000. Then you got this big university. And then you got Fort Riley about 30 minutes down the road. You know, those folks come into Manhattan once in a while.
All right, Cards get the Rams this weekend, but do they have any real chance to shock the NFC West? Gannon has only won 3 NFC West games since he's been here. 3-13. Can he get to 4 or get to 14? We're going to catch up with NFC West sports writer Erik Williams from Fox next. But here is a ESPN 620 Sports Center update first.
Live from Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, it's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. The Arizona Cardinals are prepared for Sunday's home game against the Los Angeles Rams, but they'll be shorthanded once again as quarterback Kyler Murray has been ruled out for the season. Marvin Harrison Jr. has been ruled out with a foot injury. And running back Trey Benson remains sidelined as Coach Jonathan Gannon admitted he's unsure whether Benson will return this year. Meanwhile, the Suns look to bounce back tonight in Houston against Kevin Durant and the Rockets as their first game on the weekend, but they'll have to do so without Devin Booker, who remains out with the right groin strain. We're back this Monday for Eagles at Chargers. Watch party at our home on Monday Night Football, Biggs American Bar and Grill, right in the P83 district at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Join us from 1 to 4 p.m. for great food, cold drinks, and your shot at $10,000. 20 fans will roll the jumbo die for cash. We hope to see you at Biggs in Peoria. NFC West sports writer Erik Williams joins the guys next.
It's back. Sign up now for the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B annual Pro Football Pick'em contest, powered by all 5 Twin Peaks locations. Pick the winners each week, score great prizes all season long, and earn bragging rights until next year. And don't forget, the guys are live every Thursday from 1 to 4 to kick off your football weekend at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. It's free to play and easy to join. Just head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com, powered by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views, and your home for pro football.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Sun Devil men's basketball is heating up, and now you can build a ticket plan on your terms. With the Sun Devils mini plan, you choose any 6 home games you want, including the biggest Big 12 matchups of the year, Kansas and Arizona. Lock in the rivalries, circle the heavy hitters, or stack your schedule with weekends that work for you. 6 games, your choice, your vibes, your Sun Devils. Grab your mini plan today at sundeviltickets.com. That's sundeviltickets.com.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here for QC Kinetics, and pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. And it's not just your knees, back, or shoulders. It's the time with family and friends. But that can change in 2026. QC Kinetics believes relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. They use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. QC Kinetics delivers long-term relief, so make the new year your turning point where pain stops defining you. Schedule your free consultation today, and remember, now is a great time to use your HSA and FSA funds for treatment. Call QC Kinetics with clinics in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. 602-837-PAIN. That's 602-837-PAIN for QC Kinetics.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
Stafford looking for Adams in the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown. His second today.
All right, joining us now on the Right Foot guest line here on ESPN Radio Phoenix, Erik Williams, NFC West sports writer for Fox. What's going on, Erik? What's happening today?
Not much. Happy Friday to you guys. Hope things are going well there in the desert.
Yes, nice day today. We got the good 70 degrees. Or actually, it's low. It's 60 degrees. Not
68
too bad,
for the high today, Rock.
Yeah. Hey, given the Rams lost last week, and I would say the pressure right now in this NFC West, how do you think they're approaching this game against the Cardinals? Will they be more aggressive or more conservative? Where do you think they're gonna? Which Rams team are we gonna see?
I think they're ready to get after it. I think it was kind of a sort of a wake-up call, I guess, after winning 6 straight, based on how well they had been playing up until that loss in Carolina. I think McVay is good at kind of rallying troops and getting guys refocused. And I think, with this being an NFC West opponent that they know very well, I think that kind of heightens their senses as well in terms of the kind of players and personnel that they're going to face. So, and just with the 3-team race in the NFC West and every game being kind of magnified down the stretch, I think I would be surprised if the Cardinals don't get the Rams' best effort.
Erik, I'd read a couple articles. Sean McVay was not happy, to say the least, and he put all this playoff talk on the back burner. I read that several articles. He was, quite frankly, pissed off at this team that they were looking at their press clippings more than going out and winning it. And to your point, winning the NFC West title. Was that a resounding mantra this week in practice?
Yeah. From the people I talked to, again, it's just, maybe guys were kind of, feeling it a little bit too much with how well that they're playing and just thought that they were going to show up and beat Carolina, who's a pretty good team, 7-6 now in the year and competing for a spot in the playoffs in the NFC South. So, again, that's why I expect that they're going to come out and play well, knowing how important this game is. And, again, I think that's something that McVay is really good at, is kind of weekly setting the tone for his team, providing inspiration and getting them ready to play.
Well, anytime a quarterback doesn't throw an interception after 28 touchdown passes, I'm sure that'll humble you. Speaking of touchdown passes, Devontae Adams, he was in purgatory with the Raiders. Does he feel like he's in heaven with the Rams now?
Yeah, and I think he's just kind of back playing with an elite performer, like he did all those days with Green Bay when he was playing with Aaron Rodgers. I was literally amazed at how in sync he got with Matthew early on, watching in training camp. What you're seeing right now, week by week in games, is what I watched in training camp with them just having great chemistry, knowing how Devontae was going to run a route based on his body lean or body movement, and then put it exactly where he needs to put it in Matthew, and Devontae kind of just being there to catch it. All those red zone scores that Devontae has, he's still, one of the best route runners in the game, particularly in short area spaces like the red zone. And to be able to do that, to be able to get touchdowns instead of field goals is a big deal when you're playing against the best teams in the league.
Erik, this NFC West is just amazing. Could you see 3 teams in the playoff?
I would be surprised if 3 teams don't make it, to be honest, when you look at the schedules down the stretch for all 3 teams. I mean, the Niners are 9-4. They've weathered all those injuries. They're a game, ahead because they have the bye this week. And then you look at their schedule down the stretch. I think they play one of the easiest schedules to finish out the year. I believe they have 3 of 5 at home. So I like their chances to get in as a wild card. Seahawks might have a little tougher road. 3 of their 5, I believe, they're going to be on the road, although they're 6-1 on the road this season. They do face the Rams again in a couple weeks in that rematch up there in Lumen Field, and I believe they got the Niners in San Francisco as well. So some tough games for the Seahawks. Might be a little harder for them, but I could see all 3 getting in. The Rams of those 3 actually have the easiest schedule.
For me, Erik, watching Seattle, Sam Darnold pretty much pick up where he left off in Minnesota. But watch what Coach McDonald has done. Only his second year. They were right there last year. They're right in the thick of it again. What has been his magic potion, his formula? Is it Sam? Is it the draft? Is it the free agents? Why with only 2 years he's right back up there with a chance for the NFC title?
Yeah, it's him. Very smart, very cerebral. I was up there last week covering that game, and they played the Vikings. Had a chance to talk to McDonald and a handful of the players. And it's just his approach. He's consistent every day, very detail-oriented, very workmanlike. And I think the team has kind of taken on his personality and how they show up. There's not a lot of boisterous personalities in the locker room. Like before when you had the Legion of Boom teams that were led by Carroll. They just kind of lunch pill guys show up and go to work. And really it starts with their defensive front. Murphy, Leonard Williams, each of those guys have 7 sacks. They have a Chenna coming off the edge, Boye Mafe, DeMarcus Lawrence. They have a lot of guys they can throw at you in waves in terms of their D-line and their ability to get after the passer. Ernest Jones has done a great job of kind of becoming the leader at linebacker. He has 5 interceptions on the year, which I believe is tied for second in the league. So they do a pretty good job of taking the ball away. And because they play such aggressive, bullying style of defense, Sam doesn't have to go out there and put up a lot of numbers. You saw that against the Vikings. He threw for 128 yards, and they shut out, the Vikings, although the quarterback play was not great if you watch that game, at least from the Vikings' perspective. So, yeah, I think the thing with Darnold, obviously he struggled in big moments, in critical games. So if he doesn't try to do too much and is just competent, I think the defense is good enough to lead them to a deep playoff run.
And then you look at San Francisco, you look at what I felt is Kyle Shanahan's probably best job coaching and offense. Mac Jones comes in for Brock. Brock's back. Looks like he's back. You got issues with Ayuk. Nobody knows what's going on there. Juwan Jennings having a little drama. But Robert Saleh losing 3 starters on that defense. What he's doing that defense, now you know why he's a sought-after defensive coordinator in the league.
Yeah, big personality. I was in Seattle when Saleh was a linebackers coach, and he was one of those guys that kind of stood out and players are kind of drawn to because of the way that he was on the football field. And I think you're seeing that in the way that he's coaching that defense. With all their injuries, with Bosa out, with Fred Warner out, still getting those young guys to kind of elevate and play with high energy week by week has been really impressive. I'm sure he's going to get, some interviews for head coaching opportunities because of what he's done this year. And it really kind of lets you know why Shanahan was so eager to get him back because of, what he could do with that defense. And yeah, you have to give him a lot of credit. He should be up for, any kind of assistant head coach awards for the year because of what he's done.
Erik, Kyler Murray is officially out for the year. From your perspective, does Kyler's shutdown change the long-term outlook here in Arizona for him? Is there a belief that he won't be here, a growing belief that he won't be here?
I think so. The fact that, you don't want to get him out there on the field to kind of get him going for next year, and maybe you're trying to protect him from any kind of injury based on what you want to do this offseason, definitely would raise some eyebrows for me. He is your franchise quarterback. Wins are important in this league. At least that's what they tell us. So the fact that you don't want the better quarterback out there, and he's not going to play for the remainder of the year, it makes you wonder what's going to happen with the franchise. Makes you wonder who's going to be leading the franchise, once the year is over. I still feel like they should stay with Gannon for another year, and I don't think it's great to continue to kind of spin through head coaches and GMs. I think the teams that have stability kind of feed off the teams that have instability. However, if there's a coach out there, if it's Mike McCarthy or Belichick wants to come back, or, whatever head coach you think would be better than the situation that you have, then I think you have to contemplate and think about those options as well.
How about the guy you just mentioned in San Francisco?
He would be a person I would consider. He's already been a head coach, so he knows what it looks like. If it was Law, I would wonder who's going to be the offensive coordinator that would come in with them. That would be important if I was making that decision. But, I think he'd be a great choice.
I'm a little biased, gentlemen, but I always feel the majority of the guys winning the National Football League are offensive coaches that get it done, maybe except for a Vrabel and a guy here and there. But I got to tell you, this thing in Arizona, as you've watched from the coast there, Eric, is just it's an anomaly. It's a mess. The numbers, we'd go through them with you, but you already got them. This team is not progressing. They are regressing.
Yeah, it's just bad. It's bad football. Yeah, big time. Eric, we always love having you on, buddy. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you down the road here. Thanks for your time.
Okay, sounds good. You guys have a good weekend as well.
That's Eric Williams, NFC West sports writer for Fox Sports. You can follow him on X at EDubNFL22. That's EDubNFL22. And he's brought to you today by All City Towing. Join All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company. They're hiring drivers, dispatchers, customer service pros. They've got great pay, great benefits, a monthly fuel allowance, and more. You can apply today online at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where the future is always moving forward. All right, huge night in the NFL. Detroit punches the Cowboys in the mouth, and playoff math kind of flips upside down. Multiple stars go down. We're going to talk about some of that as well as some of the other news in the National Football League. That's all coming up right here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
The season of giving starts with getting, because Twin Peaks just launched their holiday bonus card event. Buy a gift card for someone on your list, and we'll hook you up with a bonus card just for you. Because giving feels great, but getting rewarded for it, even better. Share the gift of crave-worthy food, ice-cold 29-degree beer, and good times at Twin Peaks. And treat yourself while you're at it. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. Twin Peaks, with 5 Valley locations. Bonus cards redeemable January 1st through 31st, 2026. Participating locations only.
Tease the season at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, featuring the tailor-made QI35 Woods. The tailor-made QI35 driver delivers explosive distance and undeniable forgiveness. Now up to $100 off. Don't forget we have gift cards in any amount for the special golfer in your life. Shop us in store or online at worldwidegolf.com. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, proudly serving golfers since 1963 and home of the legendary 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. OD's, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with a great opportunity to invest in your number one asset, improve the aesthetics of your home, and lower your energy bills all at the same time. And that is because my friends at Advanced Window Products, they are staging their end of the year sale where you get $2,500 off any purchase of 10 or more windows. I took advantage of this offer and I cannot say enough good things about this company, my experience, and how beautiful my new windows look. Advanced Window Products is a window and door manufacturing company with 40 years of experience. They sell directly to the public. There are no middleman markups. They've got their own factory in the valley, which means they'll build your windows, they'll install your windows, then they'll guarantee them for life. Also, that warranty is transferable, and there are great financing options available, which means now is a great time to invest in your home. Call 480-764-2002, online at advancedwindows.com.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Wright Toyota On This Day report. Wright Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, back in 71, Will Chamberlain becomes the first player in NBA history to reach 30,000 career points. Reggie Miller in 2000 he hit his 2000th career three-pointer, first to ever reach that number. Steph and Clay turned that into a routine, but Reggie did it first, right? And then 2005, this was a hell of a game. Big 12 championship. Vince Young rolls up 372 total yards against as Texas crushed Colorado 70-3.
Not a good day for Colorado. Talk about a team that was on the outskirts in the Big 12 in those days. You think about that?
Some news, NFL news. The league has approved new and mandatory stadium surface standards. So by 2028, all teams must use NFL-approved playing surface to improve the consistency and safety across the turf and the grass venue. Now, we hear State Farm is not one of the better fields. When it was the Super Bowls here, they got a lot of crap for it.
Well, they put new turf in there. And a lot of these bowl games and or championships, they put new turf in. Grass, that is. Now, if you got the artificial turf, it still has to meet the standard as far as the cushion and as far as the beads that they put in there. They now used to have those black beads, what those are, folks, is ground up tires that are put into the turf. Now it's like wood chips, more of the brown. So, yeah, I could see that because a lot of teams, as the night falls on, if you're on grass, the dew starts to settle in, guys slip and slide. But, yeah, I think a lot of these teams cut the turf so low, like a putting surface, they don't want it that low. ASU's got one of the nicest grass fields in the world, and they keep it slightly above, I'd say step meters, maybe 8 on that turf at ASU, how nice it is, how manicured it is.
For the Fiesta Sports Foundation, we'll have Erik Moses on top of the hour. They always donate the field, Chase Field, for the Rate Bowl.
Yes.
They donate that field to someone. Last year, it went to the Western School of Science and Technology. 75,000 square feet of playing field.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they do that every year. And it goes to someone different, but this time went to a Phoenix charter school. So
well, and
it's in the Maryville area.
Yeah, and a lot of schools, they will ask first because, number one, so many schools in Arizona are going to the artificial turf, artificial surface, because it saves on the bills as far as watering. But it's just such a nice gesture that you guys, Roc, give that to a school in need. And their only thing is just maintenance and watering it if they can afford the watering. A lot of them just cut so far back on watering, they're going to artificial turf.
You missed it last night. The Lions beat the Cowboys, and Detroit secured a crucial win. They needed that. Jamar Gibbs, he had a standout performance. 3 rushing touchdowns, and then that win really help their playoff chances. But I do think the game of the week is going to be Green Bay and Chicago.
I agree.
I can't remember a regular season game where so many people are talking about the game.
Because Chicago's relevant again all of a sudden.
And it's been what? Since
92 years, give or take.
86.
Since 80s. They've gone to the playoffs.
85.
The Mark Trestman-led era went to the playoffs. I think the first year of the guy that got fired last year went to the playoffs. But the other thing, too, is I thought Green Bay, their win against Detroit on Thanksgiving Day, that's the best I've seen them all year long, offensively, defensively. So this is going to be a fun game to see the Bears can go up there to Green Bay and see how far they've come, because it'll be a good litmus test for them because the Packers are legit this year.
Some injury updates on some of the key quarterbacks. Looks like the Ravens, Lamar Jackson had an ankle issue. Is expected to play against the Steelers. Chargers, Justin Herbert, looks like he is going to go on Monday night. And the Commanders, Jalen Daniels was a full participant in practice for the first time since that elbow injury.
Yeah, Justin
so
Herbert.
Quarterbacks are getting back.
Yeah, he's got a hairline fracture in his hand. He literally broke his hand, but he's going to tape it up, wrap it up. Left hand. Just like Aaron Rodgers, same thing. It's his left hand with a hairline fracture. He can pad that up pretty good. And the biggest thing is if you'll probably go do a lot more shotgun than under center, because if that center snaps the ball, it should tap at your right hand, right? Snap at your right hand. Boy, if that ball snapped at your left hand, that could be a little painful. Might bring a tear to your eye. So I think you'll see a lot more shotgun with Rodgers at Pittsburgh and with Herbert with the Chargers.
And Jalen Carter's out for Philly, the defensive tackle for Monday night. So he's going to miss some time and after undergoing a procedure on both of his shoulders. Not sure how long he's going to be out.
That could be 3 or 4 weeks just in time for the playoffs. Last I looked at the Cardinals, Max Melton's out. Dortch is out. Marv Harrison is out. I also believe that as far as Trey being out, Benson looks like right now is probably going to be out. And there's one more. I'll double check that there's one more. They're going to have 5 guys, 5 legitimate starters that will be out for this Rams team. And if all the games that you need to have all hands on deck, it'd be with the LA Rams. You got to play twice in the next 5 games. And the Rams are not going to be happy coming into State Farm. They'll be a little pissed off, a little fired up to come get back on track.
Myles Garrett is chasing an NFL sack record. He needs 4 sacks in the final 5 games to break the single season record of 22.5, which is shared by Michael Strahan and T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt. When I think of the guy that had the sack record for a long time, Mark Gastineau had it for a long time until Michael Strahan broke it against Brett Favre, which it's been recorded, and even as of late that Gastineau not happy the way that Favre took the fall to get that half sack in order to give Strahan the single season sack record.
And if you heard earlier, it looks like as though Penn State is going after Iowa State head coach Matt Campbell. They're working on finalizing a deal to hire them as their next coach. This coaching search, it's been going on for 54 days. And Campbell has led Iowa State for 10 seasons. He's 72-55. He's made multiple bowl appearances. Could be in the Great Bowl. So he's the winningest coach in history there. So I know Iowa State fans are not happy that they're losing their coach.
And one of the biggest things about Iowa State in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl that they beat Oregon was that Campbell won, Brock Purdy MVP. But more importantly, Rock, you got honored. Nowhere to be found anywhere. COVID there. We had 3,000 fans from the Iowa State side and 3,000 on the Oregon side. And if you had a ticket, you had to sit a seat apart. So it was like this big bowl game. They're all dressed up. They're playing hardly anybody's home. And the other bad part about that is absolutely nobody could go back or on the field and congratulate the players. They did have the COVID patrol on the sideline, too, for a lot of those players. But, Matt Campbell, what a great choice that is for Penn State. I wonder where he was in the pecking order, if how many coaches behind the scenes might have turned down Penn State and that they came to Matt Campbell. But, hey, you Penn State fans, you will love Matt Campbell. Great coach, attention to detail, works those guys hard. And with Matt Campbell, there's no messing around. Better have your chin strap buckled and pads tightened up and ready to go.
Jamie Pollard, who is the AD at Iowa State's been there for many, many years. And you wonder if he had a heads up on this, because these ADs got to have the Rolodex going all the time.
Oh, sure.
Who
you have to.
So if you're losing your head coach, all of a sudden, Now, he's got to.
Who do I promote or who do I go after?
Instead of getting ready for a bowl game and where you're going to go on Sunday, everything shifts to now have to hire somebody after 10 years. I mean, he was Big 12 Coach of the Year 3 times.
Yes, he was. And I also read that they are $167 million in the hole, that being Iowa State. So that's another factor that they're going to have to take a look at as far as getting a good coach. Or I don't know if they're struggling that much, then they might promote within. I don't know who the OC is or the defensive coordinator. I knew all those guys when Brock was there playing at Iowa State, but I don't know. It's interesting because the North Texas State guy has gone on to Oklahoma State. Guys have moved around. Brian Hartline's gone to Florida, South Florida. There's already been a lot of movement. Colin Klein now going from A&M to Kansas State.
I mean, I can't even keep up.
I can't either. And the thing is, some of them first-time head coaches. Well, here's how this all went down. When Colin Klein was ready to go to South Florida as a head coach, then Chris Kleiman decides he's going to retire. So as Colin Klein's leaving to go to South Florida, all right, everybody time out. Hey, Colin, Coach Kleiman's retiring at K-State. We'd like him to come home. He was headed to South Florida. So when they just said, okay, I'm going that way, they got the Hartline the next day. He was a candidate. So it just didn't come out of the blue. So Brian Hartline, the OC at Ohio State, will stay for all of the all tomorrow's game in the playoffs.
All right, we're going to visit with Erik Moses, Executive Director and CEO of the Fiesta Sports Foundation, talk about the conference championships. He's in Indianapolis. We'll catch up with him. Also, the counselor, Kevin Rowe, Scott Spreitzer from DocSports.com. We'll break down all the key matchups and point spreads. It's all ahead here on Roc Manuch with Jimmy B, as we are live out here at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price, Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Hour number 2 is coming up right here on Roc Manuch with Jimmy B.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live and save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, look, 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah, they're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees, terms, and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device. Is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer. which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. Time for our weekly visit with the Executive Director and CEO of the Fiesta Sports Foundation, Erik Moses. This is our opportunity to take you behind the scenes and talk high-level college football. Erik Moses now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and streaming on the Arizona Sports app.
All right, Erik joins us from Indianapolis for tomorrow's Big Ten 1 versus 2. Will the Jet get you back in time for Selection Sunday, Erik? The Fiesta Bowl Jet?
I'm going to be coming in hot.
You be coming in. Hey, how you've got to be looking forward to this game. This is something else. We never see this kind of stuff, especially for a championship game like Big Ten.
There's a lot of excitement here in Indianapolis, and I will tell you, I think we all, Roc, were a little surprised when Cignetti came. He came out hot at that first press conference in Indiana, talking quite a bit of smack, but he has backed it up the last 2 years, and I think they're looking for every opportunity to show the world that Indiana is a real football school now.
And Erik, we were talking a little earlier about back in the BCS days, 1 versus 2, you could not wait for a game like this. But nowadays, it's a conference championship, but 1 versus 2 could be, as they say in Texas, in the final as well, too. So this might be a precursor to the NCAA championship.
Yeah, it definitely could be, depending on how the rankings go and which losing team, drops and how far they drop. There's a lot of, right now, we've got, I think, 20 different combinations of what could happen in this thing. So it's going to be interesting. Selection Sunday will be can't miss TV.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock on ESPN, and then 10:20 the actual bracket will be revealed. And it looks as though, just from Scott Lightman sending us some notes here, that there's a good chance that the winner of that game tomorrow could end up in the Fiesta Bowl.
That's certainly what we're hoping for. And you guys know we've had really good participation from the Big Ten Conference over the years. Ohio State in particular has played in our game more than anybody else. And our understanding is that, the Big Ten champion will go to the Rose Bowl for their quarterfinal, because those conference agreements still rule for now. And so we're hoping, hey, if you're going to start on the West Coast, stay this way.
Interesting. So when it comes to now the Rate Bowl, we'll know that on Sunday for sure. We don't have to wait a couple weeks for the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. But Big Ten, Big 12 matchup, downtown Phoenix, got a great time slot, December 26th at 2:30. What are you looking forward to the most with this game?
I think we're going to have teams that have had pretty good seasons playing against each other. When we look at the Big Ten side, it's looking like the projections are either a Minnesota team or a Northwestern team. We all know a bunch of people from Illinois and Chicago, and certainly from Minnesota that are in the Valley, and so I think that would bode well for us. And last time Minnesota was with us in 2021, they had a very good showing. Lots of folks came down, and then on the Big 12 side, we may have more choices with Cincinnati, Iowa State, and Kansas State being the three that we think are probably most likely to remain on the board when it's time for us to pick.
Erik, is there anything that goes into play? Can you take a team 2 years in a row?
We can on the Big 12 side. They don't mind that. So we could theoretically, Roc, end up having K-State again.
Please, come on. Can you make an exception? We can't have them back here again. Manuch, he's going to bring out his leather jacket. He's going to bring,
I don't know.
It's embarrassing.
Well, I hold the presses here, Erik. I heard yesterday that the players with Chris Kleiman retiring have opted not to go to a bowl game. Have you heard anything different from that?
Yeah, I've heard that, but I also have heard that the conference is weighing in on that, and that story's not done yet, as I understand it.
Okay, because I was very upset. Our K-State changed like 55 former players who are in the know, and the players took a vote, and I was upset because the AD's got to step in, or the conference chairman to say, no, fellas, you're 6-6. If the Rate Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona steps up, your butts are getting on the plane. So I'm glad to hear that somebody's intervening with Kleiman moving forward. I know the interim was a defensive coordinator, I believe, is going to take over the OC in the meantime.
Yeah, it's very surprising about Kleiman. Had you heard anything that would suggest that he was nearing the end of his tenure?
Eric, the only thing that we had kind of a heads up was the meltdown he had after the Utah game. He threw a lot of stuff out there that were like, wow. So things started to happen, and I think he was just really upset and tired with NIL, the drill, the coaches have to go through. And I talked to a couple of high school coaches this week as well, too, that he had kind of complained to them last year or this year during recruiting. So there was something that was up. But, it was kind of caught off guard on Tuesday morning, bright and early, that he was stepping down, but we got Colin Klein, the prodigal son, coming back to Kansas State University.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good history with that university and those colors. So, look, I think these kids have played a good season, and they deserve to have some postseason, competition. So, if it falls to us, we take them. But we're also looking at, Iowa State has been in both of our games, as you guys know. I believe we've had Cincinnati, but Rock, you'd know better than I do. Maybe in the Fiesta Bowl, I think years past before they were in the Big 12.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't think the Bearcats are very good.
I don't know one person that went to Cincinnati. I mean, Travis Kelce, right? But what if Matt Campbell goes to Penn State? I mean, that's the rumor. Now they lose their head coach. Wonder how that plays into the bowl season.
Good question. Thank you.
Yeah, I just asked that question of someone close to that situation, and I'm waiting for an answer. So we will see.
Tell Jamie I said hi, all right?
I will.
Well, I think it's great. I mean, the fact that at Big 10, Big 12, it's great. The Chase Field, from a baseball diamond into a football field. We were talking about the NFL came down, and they're now going to make all the fields consistent. They got rules and things of that sort, which led to me bringing up the fact that the field at Chase Field for the Rate Bowl will be donated. How does that go down? How do you guys decide where that field will go?
So our community engagement team works with our partners at BHHS Legacy Foundation to find a community that's in need of a safe and a newer play space. And so BHHS Legacy has a mandate for certain parts of the state that tend to be west and north. And so we look there. Last year we were at Maryville at Western School of Science and Technology. They received the field. So that's the way we do it. We want to make certain that this is a field that gets immediate use. And if we're lucky, Rock, it gets used by multiple parties. The field last year is being used by 3 different schools, a high school, an elementary school, and then also a Boys and Girls Club. And so that kind of impact are the opportunities that we're looking for.
How is it moved? I mean, is it cut 4x4? I mean, how does that process go? Because I would think that would be a lot of fun to watch how that process comes out.
Can you stop at the Manucci household with the
I could use a little, maybe
100 square feet.
You need a few square feet? Yeah.
Yeah.
We,
use that.
Having had the good fortune of running a football stadium in my past, I've seen this done before. It's thick cut sod, and it's basically cut into strips, and then they, put it together. Essentially, I won't say sew it together, but put it together when they roll it out onto the field. So when they take it back up, it's the same thing. They just roll it back up, put it on the truck, and then we transport it to the community that's going to receive it and put it down. And there's some work that's done on the bottom part or what have you to make certain that the roots can take root and it'll be healthy and be there, for years to come. But it's a great process. If people go to our website, we usually have a time lapse of the field going down inside Chase Field, which is really fun to watch.
Erik, after the playoff games tomorrow, And Sunday morning, you're bright and early at 5:30, getting that jog in before you jump on that plane coming back. That jet. What will you be most intrigued about for the Final Four in the settings of these games?
I think I want to see one at the bottom end, if you will, of the 12-team format. The most incredible potential outcome is if one of my alma maters, Duke, ends up upsetting number 17 Virginia in the ACC championship. An unranked Duke team, if they became ACC champ, the ACC might not get a team into the 12-team playoff because you have teams from the American and even the Sun Belt that are ranked right now. And if one of those wins their championship, they could be higher ranked or will be higher ranked than Duke. And so that would be pretty amazing in an era where we're now talking about a Power Four in a group of 6, because of the Pac-12, not to have one of the Power Four conferences, the ACC, represented in the second year of an expanded format will be pretty incredible.
The ACC fan base will just go berserk, wouldn't they? I mean, absolutely berserk.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I mean,
and
you're
Miami,
one of
and I'm one of them. Yeah, exactly. Miami needs some help, and I'm not certain that they're going to get that. I'm not sure what the path is for Miami to kind of sneak in. I think they're currently ranked 12, and I'm not sure how that works. Maybe if BYU sitting at 11 gets their doors blown off by Texas Tech and loses to them for the second time, and the committee looks and goes, well, maybe those guys aren't as good as we thought they were, despite their record. Could they leapfrog Miami, who's not playing in their conference championship, above BYU? I don't know. Seems like a stretch.
Eric, did you just kind of pull the curtain back there a little bit about style points could weigh into all this? Did you just kind of give us a little peek, sneak preview there?
I mean,
what you did?
Manuch, they call it the eye test, and you've got football people in that room, and I think in the same way we saw, and dare I say the Florida State situation a couple of years ago where their star quarterback was hurt, it's a different team without your key players, and so there can be things that happen towards the end of the year. The selection committee wants teams that are playing their best football, and sometimes it may seem like a team is trending in the wrong direction.
We always love it when you talk code to us because we're starting to figure it out a little bit there.
I think I got the name of where he heard about Iowa State. I may have gotten that one there.
We love you, man.
Hey, we will see you. We will see you on Sunday, buddy. Thanks. Safe travels. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Go Bucks.
Thanks, guys. See you on Sunday.
That's Erik Moses joining us, the executive director of the Fiesta Sports Foundation. Rate Bowl is in 21 days, basically to the T at 2:30 start at Chase Field. You get tickets to go to fiestasportsfoundation.org. And then the semifinal is on a Thursday. It's on a Thursday,
right.
January 8th, 5:30. So, which I think is great because they're not competing with anything.
True.
Anyway, so that's kind of cool. So, all right. We're going to catch up with one Kevin Rowe. We need a caller right now at 602-230-0620, 230-0620. Take a shot with the counselor. We're going to do, there will be over under 800 yards of total offense in the BYU Texas, over under 525 passing Bucks and the Hoosiers, and then over under 48.5 points Alabama and Georgia, and then the winner and scorer of the Cardinals and Rams. And Connor will give you that information if you are the fifth caller at 602-230-0620. That's all coming up.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Tired of the same old weekend routine? Then head to
to Putting World. Experience an elevated 18-hole golf adventure, followed by delicious eats, handcrafted cocktails, and live music at our chef-driven restaurant, Bar 19. Enjoy daily specials and happy hour deals that are sure to keep your wallet happy. Birdies, bites, and brews await. Check out this week's live music schedule at puttingworld.com or just swing on by Putting World, located in the Scottsdale Promenade. Eat it, drink it, sink it. Putting World.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Hi, guys. This is the Rocket Roger Clemens. You don't pitch in the majors for 24 years without feeling it later. Shoulders, elbows, knees. Trust me, pain doesn't retire when you do.
That's baseball legend Roger Clemens.
I tried the ice. I tried rest, PT. Nothing really worked. When I heard about QC Kinetics, the concept sounded promising. Non-surgical regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself without surgery. Sign me up. Just what I needed. Real lasting relief.
Whether you're a former pro, a weekend golfer, or just want to walk around pain-free again, QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge technology and natural biologics to help restore and repair damaged tissue.
I trusted them with my joints. Now I'm back doing what I love.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-7246. In Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. That's 837-7246. 837-7246.
Time to challenge the defender. Attorney Kevin Rowe from Arizona's full-service law firm Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check, just call Lerner and Rowe at 602-977-1900. At Lerner and Rowe, no fees unless you win. Now, Counselor Kevin Rowe on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
How are we doing, Counselor? How's your Friday?
Rock! What a pleasant surprise hearing you. Wonderful. A great Friday, Rock.
Yes. How are we doing, Counselor? Staple here, Manuch of Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. Fridays. How are you, big fella?
I'm doing great. And you're right, Manuch. You are the staple. Again, the load management that you let that part of yours get away with just doesn't make sense. But great to hear you as well, Manuch.
Just some programming. Manuch, for some reason, is going on vacation next week. Yeah. So next Friday, it's going to be Jimmy B and myself. So I can't wait. It's going to be the best segment ever.
Every 5 years, I take a week off, Counselor. You know me. I just got to be everyone's.
I was going to say, I can't remember. I can't remember the last time you took a vacation.
I can't either. So we're due right before the holidays. Make sure we beat the holiday rush. So you will not have the fine tones of Manuch tomorrow.
I looked at the questions here, and I don't see any Washington questions here at all. Ooh. What's the deal there?
Wow, Rob.
I mean, they're going to a bowl game, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, they should be. They should go to a good bowl game.
Potato Bowl,
but not for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
All
right.
Potato Bowl.
Are we talking about alma maters right now, Rock? Did you want to talk about yours?
Dude, I mean, yeah, we got a great quarterback who from Tempe just missed the MAC championship game just because a couple of interceptions. Manuch didn't teach him to do a better job.
A couple things he missed out on one day.
So, yeah, I know we're not the same level as Washington, but all right, here we go. All right, you got Matthew and Phoenix. All right, there will be over under 800 yards of total offense combined in the BYU Texas Tech game. Texas Tech game, over under 800 yards.
800 yards is insane. I mean, these two teams just played, a month ago? And it was a 29-7 game where the total yardage was 368 yards. So
you just had that on top of your head. You just knew that. I mean, you just knew that.
I
You
know
don't get
these
the
things,
question.
Rock. I know these things. I listen. I watch games.
Well,
study.
Aren't you in court all the time? I mean, isn't that where you're in court, right? I mean, how do you have time to do this research?
I am I can do both. I know how to prioritize. Unlike Rock, you just prioritize your vacation time. I know how to prioritize my day. So I got this stuff down. So with this, I do not see this game going over 800 points. I know that they both average, combined over 800, but that's also considering some of these other teams low caliber teams. So I'm going with the under. I'm taking the under combined offensive yards under 800.
All right, Connor, what's Matthew going with?
He also took the under on this one.
Also took the under.
All right, Counselor. Hey, the thing is, see, when Rock's not here on Friday, he misses out on all the great prep that you have ready to go. So it's not surprising to me you hear all these stats, how well you profound on it. Rock's just kind of learning.
I appreciate you, Manuch, more than you'll ever know.
Thank you. Thank you. Front door. All right. Question number. Thank you, Counselor. All right. There will be over under 525 yards passing combined in the Ohio State-Indiana game. Over under 525 yards passing combined. Mendoza and just saying.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm taking the under. You guys obviously some great defenses. You're going to see, Ohio State want to run the ball and take control of it. You're going to see passing, but I just think at the end of the day, you're not going to get combined 525. This is going to be a defensive game, so I'm taking the under.
All right, there'll be over under 48.5 total points scored in the Alabama-Georgia game. 48.
Excuse me, Rock. Excuse me. You may have been off a little bit, but you're supposed to say what Matthew took before you move on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what Matthew have there, Connor?
Yeah, I feel bad for the dang kid. He was all excited to say this. He's going over. He's excited about these quarterbacks.
Man.
Well, I'm trying to rush through this because I have a very big question to ask Kevin when we get done.
Yeah, but it's not fair to Matthew that you diss him like that.
All right, sorry, Matthew. All right, go ahead.
All
All right,
I'm
there
looking
will
out
be
for you,
over
Matthew.
under.
Don't ever forget that.
Yeah. All right, 48.5 total points scored in the Bama-Georgia game. Over under 48.5 total points.
So, Rock, I'm going to give you a little stat that you probably don't know.
Okay.
But head-to-head, the last 7 meetings averaged 44.3 points between these two teams. The September game was 45 points. So I'm going to tell you this, Rock. It's going to be a defensive slugfest. Alabama got squeezed one out earlier in September, but now here we are. Here where it really counts. So I'm going with the under. Under 48.5.
Matthew went with the over.
Okay, so 44.3, is that the number?
Yeah, I'm an average over the last 7 meetings.
Where does the 0.3 come? When I watch football, I never see it like 7.3.
If you did by 7, it's an odd game. So 7 divided by whatever, you come out with 44.3.
You guys I'm going to fact check that one. All right.
All right, last and not least, the winner and score of the Cardinals versus the very pissed off LA Rams. Winner and score there, Counselor.
So many of you guys may or may not know, but I'm from Southern California. My team was the Rams, or is the Rams. So I also like the Chargers, but I'm a Rams guy. And I picked up in my fantasy team Matt Stafford. And last week was just not a good week for him. You're right. I look for him bouncing back strong. I can tell you who's not playing this week. Does anybody want to guess on that one? Who's not playing in this game? You're right, Kyler Murray. So I'm going to go with Rams, 31-20. 31-20 Rams.
All right, what's Matthew? Which way is he leaning on this, Connor?
He must have been a Cardinals homer. He went with the Cardinals 24-21.
Okay,
makes
sense.
Is awesome.
All right. All right. So we
doesn't.
we have a question for you that came up yesterday in our show, and we want to propose something to you. Doesn't cost you a dime. It's not. This isn't. We're not asking for an ask or anything or a donation or anything like that. We would like to do our radio show live during the Fiesta Bowl parade on your float.
Oh, wow. That could be a lot of fun. Yeah. Let me see if we can pull that off. Are you guys live the whole time? Because we have a DJ on the float too, so we'd have to kind of come in and out.
Dude, you'll save your money. You'll have us. We'll have sports talk instead of a DJ for the hour that you go down.
I can see how all those fans and spectators down the road would be so excited to have you guys.
Well,
Or would you rather have a DJ?
All right. Well, if we can't do the show,
guys,
can we
I
just?
think you guys should come out and be involved because, Roc, as you know, being a fellow Yellow Jacket like myself, you should come out to see all the new things we're throwing this year. And yes, I said that.
Whoa.
Even shooting out of a gun this year.
Wait a second. I mean, the term sheet says that you're not allowed to throw anything from your float. Didn't you get in trouble last year with the little footballs?
AKA, what term sheet? What term sheet?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I never get in trouble from our fellow Fiesta Bowl Yellow Jacket people. They're great. I sometimes have been admonished by some of the City of Phoenix volunteers that they don't. But we kind of wait until they see our new air gun, kind of like the guns that the Suns use to shoot all the way up to the upper section. We have one of those this year too, so this should be a fun time. You guys definitely have to come out for that.
Yeah, we just want to like have a ride for like a couple blocks.
Maybe it's a mock broadcast with.
And Manuch his wrist is really good.
Oh yeah,
he gets a lot of.
I know
he
that
uses
way.
that wrist a lot, so he's ready to go.
That wrist has had a lot of hard training over the years. I'm telling you, man.
I don't even know if I should touch this or not, but I am. So
no, don't touch it.
I'm going to go with. I mean, the statement, Roc. Yes, this show has just gone downhill. I mean,
yes,
where's John Jay? I need to go on a different show.
Wow. Well, then find Rich and then John and then just three people.
There's three guys that are there. Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right. I will tell you this. It kind of reminds me of an old movie, Revenge of the Nerds, and Limp Bizkit Lamar throwing. Is that you, Manuch?
That was no. I was there. I auditioned for Revenge of the Nerds, so you know. I did. And the line was,
you would be the star.
And my line was to Ted Lindley, I was his counterpart, other guy. Hey, try it. It's a fireball. You're gonna like it. That was my audition line, right? And they used it in the movie, but they didn't pick me, Kevin.
Oh God, it would have been.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to next week, man. So we will talk to you next week. Me and Jimmy B, man. It's gonna be the best Lerner and Rowe segment we've ever had for picks.
Yeah, bring some life to it, would you please, counselor? They're gonna need.
I think Kevin's gonna come down on Toyota, and we're just gonna hang out here, right? You do an hour.
I'll take care of the show.
I can fact check you.
I'll take care of it in your absence, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend, buddy. Thanks for your time.
You too. Take care, guys.
That's Kevin Rowe, Lerner and Rowe. All right, coming up, some monster numbers this week. Texas Tech laying 12.5. Georgia's just short of a favorite over Bama. How about Ohio State, Indy? That's a pick'em range. And Virginia laying, 4.5. We're going to dive into that with Scott Spreitzer. But first, here's Connor with another update.
Live from the Bright Toyota in Scottsdale, it's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. The Arizona Cardinals are preparing for Sunday's game against the Los Angeles Rams, but they'll be shorthanded once again as quarterback Kyler Murray is out for the season. Jonathan Gannon announced this morning. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be out with a foot injury, and running back Trey Benson remains sidelined as coach Jonathan Gannon admitted he's still unsure whether Benson will return this year or not. Meanwhile, the Phoenix Suns look to bounce back tonight in Houston against Kevin Durant and the Rockets, their first game of the weekend, and they'll have to do so without Devin Booker, who remains out with the groin strain. We're back this Monday for Eagles at the Chargers. Watch party at our home for Monday Night Football, Biggs American Bar and Grill, right in the P83 district at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Join us from 1 to 4 for great food, cold drinks, and your shot at $10,000. 20 fans will roll the jumbo dice for this cash. We hope to see you at Biggs at Peoria on Monday. Sports Handicapper Scott Spreitzer joins the guys next.
Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000 Mondays. Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football.
Pressure coming. Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again.
Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
At Crest Insurance, we believe great insurance starts with great relationships. For years, we've been protecting businesses, families, and futures with the care and expertise you deserve. Our team knows what it takes to provide personalized solutions for your needs. We're here to make insurance simple, reliable, and stress-free. Visit crestins.com to see how we can protect what matters most to you.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
Who wants to hit LA? Sign up for the Twin Peaks Gridiron Getaway, powered by Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Grand prize, 2 tickets to see the Cards at the Rams January 4th at SoFi Stadium, hotel at the Westin LA, and a $500 Visa card. Runner-up scores a $500 big game tailgate at Twin Peaks for you and 9 friends. Scan to score at Twin Peaks or text PEAKS to 59925 to enter. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views, and football dreams.
Seize the season at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, featuring the Callaway Elite family of drivers. Get up to 8 yards longer with more forgiveness compared to other Callaway models. Now up to $120 off. Don't forget, we have gift cards in any amount for the special golfer in your life. Shop us in-store or online. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, proudly serving golfers since 1963 and home of the legendary 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Now, sports gamblers, Scott Spreitzer, one of the leaders and most trusted names in the country. Nobody watches and studies games more than he does. From TalkSports.com, here's Scott Spreitzer, exclusively on with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, Scott Spreitzer joins us here on the Right Toyota guest sign here on ESPN Radio Phoenix. All right, Scott, we're going to start BYU Texas Tech with Tech laying like 12.5. Is this line too high, too low, or just right?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty fair line. If you like Tech here, I mean, we saw, what the line was and what they did to BYU in Lubbock. And although there hasn't been like a big adjustment as far as going from Lubbock to, somewhat of a neutral site, BYU fans will travel for this game. It's, I think fair. I mean, we had Texas Tech in the regular season clash, and it was a pretty easy win after the first quarter. And they won the game 29-7, despite quite a bit of inefficiency on offense, if you will, with Texas Tech. They had to settle for field goals deep in Cougar territory. Obviously, part of that's BYU stopping, and part of that was Texas Tech just not making the plays that they normally do. But they still won by 22. And the biggest take from that game for me was that the defense was going up against the BYU offense that wants to punish opposing defenses, but they couldn't because the Tech defense was too quick, too athletic, too physical, and BYU couldn't do what they wanted on the ground in the trenches in that meeting. I mean, they held the Cougars to 255 yards on less than 4 yards per play, and they outrushed BYU's 21st ranked rush offense, 149-67. And then I went back, kind of looked at Bear Bachmeier. I like this kid, young guy. But if you look at his last 6 games, he's a 59% passer, 108 for 182. And then you got Baron Morton for Tech, who's top 10 in the nation in passing efficiency. So I think their balanced attack is, again, going to be a little bit too much for BYU, and Tech will go on to win and cover this number.
And to that point, I thought what you said there, Scott, the Bachmeier, they're running too much, I think. And then how do you keep up with Texas Tech if you don't have that passing game / 4-minute offense to get back into a game if they jump all over you?
Exactly. And I really thought that they should have focused a little bit more on the passing game, as you just mentioned. And, he never really. I mean, listen, I don't want to take anything away from BYU or Bachmeier. He's had a really good first season, but if you look at those last 6 games, it's like he's kind of regressing rather than progressing. And I think a lot of that has to do with that style of offense they're calling. And again, they're supposed to be top 25 in rushing, and they were held to 67 yards by Tech because they couldn't diverse the offense. And that's what I think is going to happen again. I think Tech's just too quick, too athletic on defense for BYU to just run the football at them and hope to find, an aerial game when they're down in this contest. So it plays out to Tech for me, and I get it. I know a lot of people that want to jump on BYU here in revenge, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
All right, Scott, the second game, number 3, Georgia versus number 9, Alabama. Last time I looked, it was Georgia minus 2.5. I guess you could call this a quasi-neutral site, even though it's in Georgia for all the Georgia fans. How are you looking on this game? How are you leaning on this?
Yeah, neither team's been as dominant as they were a couple of years ago, and the Tide have no ground game. I mean, they're outside the top 100 in rushing yards per game, which feels odd when you talk about the Tide. And we saw it play out this season earlier in the meeting. Georgia outrushed Bama by 110 yards, but the Tide outpassed Georgia by 150. But it was kind of at a time when Gunnar Stockton hadn't really hit his stride and hadn't figured out the offense yet. And they still had the ball inside the Bama 10-yard line late in the second half with a chance to take the lead, but they came up empty. So since then, Stockton's 15 touchdown passes, 5 picks, nice 3-to-1 ratio in a tough conference. And then I looked at last week's game. I'm watching that. I'm watching Bama get outgained by 130 yards by Auburn. They've had 3 of their last 6 wins come by 1 score, Bama, and the 20-9 win over LSU was a 1-score game until the final minutes when they got the ball at the LSU 37, kicked a field goal late in the game to win by 11. They can't run the ball. They've got a good running back in Jam Miller, but he might not play. He's their best by far running back for Bama, and he may not play in this one. He's listed as questionable. So I do think the Bulldogs will exact some revenge here. What I think is the wise thing to do is to play him to win on the money line, like a baseball bet. And right now, instead of laying 2.5, you can play Georgia minus $1.35 just to win. So you're laying $135 to win 100, as opposed to $110 to win 100 if you lay the 2.5. So I think just to win outright at minus $1.35 is the way to go.
And Scott, I'm just curious, when you watch Georgia dismantle Texas in the second half, Gunnar Stockton looked like they took the handcuffs off that young man.
Yeah,
looks like he grew up, he developed, and it seems like he's been hitting on all cylinders since. Was that the true litmus test for a game like this?
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, I like the way Georgia was looking in a game like that as opposed to Alabama when they faced Auburn. And I know it's a huge rivalry game, but still Auburn looked like the wrong side, even though they won the football game. Alabama looked like the wrong side for a good chunk of that contest. So the way Stockton played against Texas, what an excellent defense Texas has, I thought it just showed, that those stats aren't a fluke since the Alabama game, that 3-to-1 ratio that he's had through the air. So I think they get the job done here against Bama. I hate backing teams when it gets to the nitty-gritty, like games like this or the upcoming playoffs, that are so one-dimensional on offense, and that's Alabama.
He's Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com. All right, Indiana, Ohio State, the line has been moving. Right now, DraftKings has it at 4. Why is this line moving?
Yeah, the money just coming in on the Hoosiers, man. I mean, I remember I was doing an opening line show Sunday night, and we were talking about the movement on some of these games. That Indiana line just kept dropping and dropping and dropping, which meant on Sunday, for the next week, that's not public money. That's guys who are making a living putting their money where their mouth is, and they just kept hammering Indiana. And I've been a little surprised that it hasn't come back the other way at all. I do know that the Buckeyes, they're going to get their first look at Fernando Mendoza, which is going to be different than when they saw Kevin Rourke. And that's not to take much away from Kevin Rourke last year, but he's a stand-in-the-pocket quarterback, and if you get a pass rush against him, he's going to take a lot of hits, and he's not going to be able to make do a lot of damage with his feet. So they get beat by 23 last year with Kevin Rourke. What I like about Mendoza, he's a very mature running or duo quarterback, and he's not so much a duo threat, but he can run. He just doesn't, all of a sudden his first option's out of the window and it's covered, so he decides to take off and run. That's not Mendoza. He'll go through his progressions, and he's got the kind of feet and, again, the maturity level between the years to know when it's a good move to escape the pocket instead of putting his offensive line in trouble. So even though this line is dropped, and I hate the fact that it's dropped for people who want to jump in on Indiana here, I still think they're the right side of this contest. They trailed Iowa with 10 minutes to go. They escaped Penn State, had some good fortune in that late win, and they did win at Oregon in a tight game. Tough place to play, obviously. Bottom line is that they faced adversity, and they've trailed with a minute to go in a game. Ohio State hasn't faced adversity since week 1, and if Arch Manning was playing then like he is now, maybe they beat Ohio State up in the shoe. So I like Indiana a little bit here, guys, even with that line movement.
All right, it's got the next game all dressed up, nowhere to go, no matter who wins. Duke versus number 17, Virginia. Virginia -4. Oh, Miami. You're going to have to hope for a lot of miracles to be happening on tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And, boy, this just shows about that playoff committee what a joke it is, if I may say so. I mean, if you look at the top 25 before the season began with a lot of people like that are on this committee, 12 of the 25 teams that were in the preseason top 25 aren't in the top 25 now. Half the top 25. They've really got to go to power ratings. They got to get smart guys who, know what they're talking about when it comes to power ratings into this mix. And I apologize for my dog whining. I guess she thinks she's hungry already. But anyway, this is a tough one. We have a balanced offense, 23rd in total yards per game, and a balanced defense, top 25 in total yards per game allowed when it comes to Virginia. And Duke's one-dimensional offense that's almost all about the pass. And then Duke's got that horrible defense. That 34-17 Virginia win was 31-3 with about 10 minutes to go. It was more like a 38-10 game. I think Virginia gets them again here, guys.
All right, let's go to the NFL. Rams and Cardinals. Rams coming off that loss to Carolina last week. 8.5, that number too high, too low?
Yeah, 8.5. Well, here's what I look at this line this week. The Rams were 10.5 on the road last week against a playoff contender. That's now 7-6, Carolina. And the Rams had just played and beaten Tampa Bay, Seattle, and San Francisco. So it was a bad spot. And, I always say to people, do yourself a favor when it comes to betting in the NFL. Do not lay double digits on the road. You may occasionally win a game. You're going to get beat in the long run. And that's what they were, 10.5 last week on the road. This week, they're on the road against a familiar opponent, a team that's 3-9 and out of the mix, 0-4 and 1-9 slides, pretty much one-dimensional on offense, and a defense that gives up 25 a game, and now they're only laying 8. So the Rams didn't make my top 5 this week, guys, but it's either the Rams or pass. And really, handicapping is all about the lines and the numbers, and I think this price is about 2 points too short.
Scott, when it comes to like these bowl games, the game between Tulane and North Texas, both the coaches are gone. They've gone on to other jobs. How does that play into handicapping at all?
Yeah, I got to have a coordinator who takes over who has been, like if it's an offensive coordinator, the offense has been playing well since he's been there, whether it be one season or even more. I have to look at that offensive coordinator if they're a very good offense and say, okay, he's the interim coach. He can handle the offensive play calling. There's going to be no drop-off there. And then see if the head coach was, offense or defense and then bet it accordingly or handicap it accordingly. But it's got to be somebody who was with the program all season long, who's made the interim head coach, and they had to have something to do with the play calling. And no offense to, say, a tight ends coach, but if a tight ends coach is taking over at the interim coach, it's a knock against him if he hasn't been the guy calling the plays on offense or on defense throughout the course of the season. So it has to be somebody I think the players are extremely familiar with. He's had a lot to do with the play calling on either side of the football, and then I'll look to play on those guys. Otherwise, I kind of just leave those bowls alone if they're matched up against each other. If I get that, really good coach on one sideline who's been there for 5 years and an interim coach who's not mixed in with the play calling, I'll look to bet that coach has been around for a while in that staff.
Troy and James Madison, that starts about 5 o'clock our time, 24.5 for a championship game?
Yeah, I know, guys, but I had to lay it earlier this week. I actually
really?
did. And I got a better number. I didn't get the opener. The opener was like 20.5, and it shot up on Sunday like crazy. It was like 23 by Sunday night. I got it at 21, so I'm not feeling too bad about not getting it at 20.5. But, yeah, for me, guys, I think this is a tough spot for, I think James Madison's probably going to roll in this one. I like the way that their coach handled signing on with UCLA. It wasn't a situation like we saw with Lane Kiffin. He did it the right way. And so I think these players are going to play for this guy, and I think they'll play well, and I just think they're too balanced in offense and going to have one big game left in them. And he's going to be with them, by the way, as long as they survive, if they move on to a bowl game or if they somehow get lucky and make a group of 5 playoff spot. But, yeah, I laid 21 in this one. Now, the line again has gotten a little crazy since then. But, boy, I just don't think Troy's going to hang with them, guys.
Hey, just real quick, you talk about the head coaches staying or moving on. How about coordinators like Colin Klein will go to K-State, but he's going to stay on at A&M throughout the playoffs. Brian Hartline going to go to South Florida, but he's going to stay at Ohio State throughout the playoffs. Is there any kind of minutia that's decided as far as handicapping with those guys? Their attention may not be completely on the bowl game or the playoffs because they got other fish to fry while they're at their particular schools.
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and it's kind of a mystery because we've never really been able to quantify, like a Colin Klein, let's say, if he's got his attention on recruiting for K-State. We've never been able to quantify, how it affects their current job. I would think that Colin Klein is going to be fine, say, with Hartline at Ohio State. I tend to give guys like that at the big schools, at the big programs, the benefit of the doubt, where maybe if it's at a lesser program and he's moving up, he's all excited, he's looking to build that program up. I got to tell you, being a Kansas State guy that you are, I'm surprised that he stepped down. And I really thought there was going to be at least 3 or 4 years left as head coach of Kansas State. And even though they didn't reach where they wanted to be this season, he's still one of my top 10 favorite college coaches.
He got an extension last year. He was good to go to 2030. We all thought that. He just got tired of all the NIL and all the minutiae of these young guys nowadays, Scott, as you can imagine.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's got to be. It's got to be such a tough job compared to what it used to be. Listen, I thought Lane Kiffin's presser the other day was a lot of BS, I guess you could say. Yeah. But at the same time, when he said, I thought there was some truth in there when he said this is about the players and the money for the players. I mean, is that the truth or what? I mean, that's the way it is nowadays. So, obviously he said he wasn't worried about the money. Well, that's because he was going to bank millions, and he knew that. But the bottom line is when he came out and said this is all about these days, about the money for the players, he certainly was speaking the truth and preaching the truth at that point. And so it's got to be extremely tough. And it's also tough to see these coaches getting, kicked out of town after 1 year or 3 bad games. Like Matt Campbell going to Penn State. Listen, Penn State, to me, I've told you guys before, they're the Auburn of the Big Ten. And good luck, Matt Campbell. I like him. But I really think if Campbell was that big of a coaching power or power-rated coach, he would have been taken out of Iowa State 3 or 4 years ago. Every time the Cyclones got to a level where people expected big things, they dropped off. And so good luck with that, Penn State. I mean, I hope he does well. But, that looks like an 8-4, 9-3 program every year.
Scott, we love you, man. Great stuff. We'll talk to you next week.
Good luck, guys. Take care.
That's Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com, bringing it as he always does. Hey, on Monday we'll be back at Biggs, Eagles, Chargers watch party. We broadcast from 1 to 4, and then we stick around for the game. And at halftime, 20 fans will roll the jumbo dice for cash. That's Monday at Biggs in Peoria, Biggs American Bar and Grill, right there in the P83 district. All right. Are we watching the birth of true free agency in college football? NIL, the portal, and coaching moves say yes. More coming up next. Get into that. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, as we're live at Right Toyota.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll, topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Sun Devil men's basketball is heating up, and now you can build a ticket plan on your terms. With the Sun Devils mini plan, you choose any 6 home games you want, including the biggest Big 12 matchups of the year, Kansas and Arizona. Lock in the rivalries, circle the heavy hitters, or stack your schedule with weekends that work for you. 6 games, your choice, your vibes, your Sun Devils. Grab your mini plan today at sundeviltickets.com. That's sundeviltickets.com.
Hey, Wolf here with Dr. Justin Field at Desert Institute for Spine Care, also known as DISC. DISC is who I chose when I had back issues, as they have been a pioneer in spine treatments. Dr. Field, what are the cutting-edge treatments for neck pain?
For the many patients that come in to see us for neck pain, a lot of times they may have herniated discs in their neck or bone spurs that are pinching in on the nerve roots, causing neck pain. Also weakness and numbness in their arms. A great cutting-edge treatment is an artificial disc replacement. These have been around actually for well over a decade, but the technology has improved vastly. And so patients are able to recover quickly, their mobility is maintained, and they're able to get back to the activities in life that they really enjoy.
Thank you, Dr. Field. If you suffer from neck or back pain, go see the spine experts at DISC at sciatica.com or text SPINE to 620-620.
Best data rates may apply. The season of giving starts with getting, because Twin Peaks just launched their holiday bonus card event. Buy a gift card for someone on your list, and we'll hook you up with a bonus card just for you. Because giving feels great, but getting rewarded for it, even better. Share the gift of crave-worthy food, ice-cold 29-degree beer, and good times at Twin Peaks. And treat yourself while you're at it. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations. Bonus cards redeemable January 1st through 31st, 2026. Participating locations only.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
All right, college football is about to hit the busiest and craziest stretch of the entire year. You know, we got the playoff drama, we got the bowl shakeups, we got the coaching changes, the NIL battles, even though the transfer portal isn't officially open yet. Players and agents are already lining up to jump in. We know that's going to be big. There's already multiple reports that 12 to 15 Power 5 quarterbacks are preparing to enter right then on January 2nd. And there's 4 big reasons why. The one, the NIL money is just out of control. Some of the SEC and Big Ten collectives have $2 to $4 million earmarked just for their quarterback. I mean, we could see the first $5 million transfer quarterback deal ever. That's nuts. And then you got the new coaching staffs, you know, misfit quarterbacks, right? You got all the changes in the SEC, Big 12, and ACC. That's pushing these QBs out the door with all the new coaches, right? Right. And then the 1-year rentals. That's the norm now. These teams with playoff aspirations, they want a veteran quarterback now, not in 2027. And then finally, the agents are negotiating. Collectives are structuring offers, and long before the portal opens, it's just nuts. I mean, this is NFL style free agency.
Yeah,
there's no other way to look at it.
Well, and I talked to the Castile head coach last night. He used to coach at Lewis and Clark. He was at Lewis and Clark. He was a prominent coordinator there. He left Lewis and Clark to come down. He's the head coach at Castile High School now. And I said, Coach, how much involved was NIL even at Lewis and Clark and some of those small schools? He says, in Portland. He said, it's big. It's big there. So he says, you can see why the Chris Klymans of the world, the Nick Sabans of the world are getting out of the business, because there's so much to it. And it's not so much handling the NIL. It's having to renegotiate with your own players and then deal with other players who are getting bid on to keep them. Yeah, I think that's one thing that these schools have to look at. If Avery Johnson's going to stay at Kansas State University under Colin Klein, who's going to be his new head coach, I'm sure he's going to stay there, but you're going to have to up the ante. So to your point, Rock, you might have his agent call Colin Klein or Gene Taylor, the AD, whoever's in charge, the GM, say, hey, look, we'll stay if ... So that's going to happen too with these new coaches coming in, whether you like it or not. If you have an established player, like an Avery Johnson as a quarterback, K-State, Colin Klein comes in, or they might go, Colin has a couple of top-notch quarterback recruits that were going to go to A&M. They might flip and come to Kansas State. So now
then Avery's out the door.
Or Avery's going to be a senior next year. Does he stay? And then this kid that's coming in, here's his price that he was going to go to A&M, but Colin Klein wants to keep. All right, we got to pay him $1 million and him $3.5 million. They don't have the budget. They don't have the numbers. So you're in a numbers game for cash if you're going to have any of these top quarterbacks and receivers come in.
You know, it'd be cool to have access to the portal to see all the guys that are in there.
Oh,
because, you know, when this officially opens on January 2nd, you know, hundreds and hundreds of entries will go in 24 hours, right? So this is probably going to be the wildest portal window ever.
And here's the reason why, because this is the only time that you're going to have this.
January 2nd to the 16th.
That's it, because there's no more April 6th or through whatever. And I agree.
It's a start.
It's a start. But if anybody has any inkling that if they're going to move on, and you're right, Roc, it could be 3,000, 3,500. Well, you can't place them all. And I think that's why the NCAA or the schools got together and said, look, if somebody goes in the portal, they can't get placed. If we want them back, we'll take them back. But then if you bring them back, will they have their money that they were going to make? This conundrum, if you're the general manager, if you're Lombardi at North Carolina, for example, and you got all this going on, guys coming and going. They don't want to be with Bill Belichick is what we're hearing. So they're going to jump in the portal. Then you got guys that, hey, I'd love to go play for Bill Belichick. So here's Lombardi as your general manager going, give me the spreadsheet of what's our budget for this kid, what's our budget for that kid. Then you have all that going on. I mean, it should be the minor league baseball.
Yep.
It should be, all right, free agents. So we got the levels of AAA. Then you're going into the bigs. Here's your number. Here's the status of what you should be earning, and we'll go from there. If you don't like it, go to those 2 or 3 other schools, see if they've got the cash.
Do you think that if the fact that there is no transfer portal in April or whenever it was, that we'll talk less college football?
No, I think we'll talk about some of the guys that transferred, where they're at. We'll probably understand, have an idea where their money is. But I really believe that it's a situation where we're going to see what they're doing with that team.
All right, if the playoffs started, 16 teams are in. Houston, Detroit, they sneak in as 8 seeds. Now the NFL, it's upside down. Parity is the story in 2025. We may get a first-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. We could see that. We're going to break down the entire playoff picture. Unfortunately, Cardinals aren't in this next segment. But we'll also catch up with 2-time Super Bowl champion Mark May, get his thoughts on the weekend's conference championship. That's at 3:30. We're out here, right, Toyota. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, live on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
Kohl's Customer Appreciation Event is here, right in time for the gift exchange. Even though everyone pretends gifting isn't a competition, it kinda is. At Kohl's, save on gifts everyone will fight over. From sweaters and flannels to air fryers, toaster ovens, and more. Because deep down, the gift exchange isn't just about giving. It's also about winning. Shop Kohl's and save on top gifts now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end December 14th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
A new exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card is your opportunity to go from cardholder to ticket holder for the FIFA World Cup 2026. For a limited time, when you're approved for a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card, you're eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more today at bfa.com/cardfwc26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America N.A. in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell. Next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club. A one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills. Just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Dan Bickley here, and cooler weather means open windows. But what about the air inside your home? You might be surprised at the gunk you are breathing in your personal space. Good news is Parker & Sons offers air quality solutions that will keep your family breathing easy. From duct cleaning to air purifiers, they've got tools to clear the air 24/7. Call Parker & Sons today at 602-2-REPAIR. That's 602-2, then REPAIR for Parker & Sons.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. He's ESPN 620. It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
All right, if the NFL season ended today, the 2025 playoffs would look absolutely nothing like what anybody predicted back in August. 16 teams locked in, and your 2 8 seeds, Houston, Detroit, Texans, and Lions are sneaking in. It's an interesting year with parity. I mean, think about it. If the playoffs start today, the Patriots would get a number 1 seed in the AFC, and the Bears would get a number 1 seed in the NFC. That is, no one had that unless you are from New England or Chicago.
Did hell freeze over? Did we not get the message? I mean, that is improbable.
So let me lay it out. So it would be Patriots, Broncos, Jags, Ravens, Chargers, Colts, Bills, and the Texans will come in as the final wild card. And then over in the NFC, it's Bears, Rams, Eagles, Bucks, Seahawks, Packers, 49ers, and Lions they sneak in. I mean, you look at this season, and, of course, the Patriots and the Bears, nobody picked them, right? And then you have preseason favorites that are underperforming, like the Chiefs, around 500, the Ravens, same thing, the Lions at 8 seed. Eagles are barely hanging on. No great teams, but a lot of really good ones. And this is great for the league. I mean, I saw. I think it was Bill Barnwell of ESPN says that every division has 2 or 3 teams within a single game of first place.
Exactly.
And I think it's great. And then one big question is, could we get a first-time Super Bowl quarterback? I mean, that's one of the storylines. Is Mahomes, if he's out, Lamar is out. We know Joe Burrow. What's going on with Josh Allen is a roller coaster for him. But a Drake May, a Justin Herbert,
a Caleb Williams,
Trevor Lawrence,
Lawrence,
even Jordan Love. I mean, it's interesting.
Sam Darnold, he could be one of those guys as well. Yeah,
the next 6 weeks are going to be a lot of fun.
This is everybody's talking about the NFC West. We had Eric Williams on earlier, NFC West beat writer for Fox, talking about the Rams, Seahawks, and Niners could be in the playoffs. Well, you could say that again about the Bears, Packers, and Lions could be in the playoffs. And then again, I doubt from the South, you'd probably have one team from the South. But, there's the Panthers and there's the Buccaneers vying for it. Cowboys, I don't know. I think Eagles from that division, Cowboys would have to come on strong. But then again, you look at the Broncos and Chargers in the AFC West. And you're right. Who would ever thunk that the Pats would be, 3 games up on the Bills, the much favored Buffalo Bills? The Bills would come in. Bills may have to sneak in on the back door as a wild card team. So I love this parity. But to see the changes that a coach can make in 1 year that Vrabel's done in New England and that Ben Johnson's done in Chicago, that's going from literally the outhouse to the penthouse in a year. And they got their franchise quarterbacks. I get it, but they don't have that much more talent than a lot of the other teams that are out there.
Yeah, and the ownership of the Cardinals is looking at that.
Absolutely.
And trying to get a page out of that playbook and say, all right, why is it Jonathan Gannon in his third year having success, and these guys are doing it in their first and second year?
And I don't care if you bemoan the fact of injuries or not. These teams have had injuries all over the place. It's just how you manage. Look at Seattle last year, what McDonald did in his first year to get that Seattle team with Geno Smith as his quarterback to get them to the playoffs or close thereof. This year, he's taken off with that team with another new quarterback. So I really believe that when you have a head coach that's been there and done that. Now, McDonald was a coordinator, Gannon was a coordinator, Ben Johnson was a coordinator, but those guys, the kind of success that they've had moving into a head coaching role speaks volumes. Now, Gannon was a defensive coordinator for the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl, but sometimes it just doesn't translate. It's got to be draft choices. It's got to be free agents. But a lot of it, guys, it is coaching. It's knowing what to do, how to do. And I think some of the decisions that you make along the way really speak volumes.
Clearly one of the most upside-down NFL seasons we've ever seen. And you can almost make a case that if Houston and Detroit are 8 seed, okay, they're dangerous sleepers.
Sure.
Houston's playing well. Detroit's now starting to turn it on. They've got some offense going last night. And say what you want about the Cowboys. They're playing better.
Well, the defense got all over Dak Prescott when it counted. 5 sacks. They got the 2 picks. The Cowboys have been playing better. They just, to your point, it's hard for them to stop anybody. The Cowboys are playing much better football. This is the one year when people go, well, on any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any given Sunday this year is a prime example of that.
I am disappointed that the Colts, I was really jumping on their bandwagon early on. I thought they were going to have one of those,
one of those years they cruise.
They're 8-4. They've been kind of struggling a little bit. And we were talking about MVP running back and all that. And that kind of has been quiet. That's quiet down a little bit.
Yeah, I think a couple things. Look, the things in the National Football League, you're going to have that spell. I remember in Buffalo, we won the AFC East with 11-5 record. It's odd. The Colts beat us twice that year. Atlanta, we're 5-0. Atlanta comes into our place and they beat us. So there's 3 losses there. And then we had a couple more losses. Just like, what? But the one thing that you do, if you're going to win it all, you can't lose back. We never lost a game back-to-back. That's the one.
Colts have.
And the Colts have. And now you've got Danny Dimes playing with a fractured fibula. He's going to play with a fractured fibula. You got Herbert playing with the fractured left wrist. You got Aaron Rodgers playing with a fractured left wrist. This is the time of year where guys either hit the wall or you have more injuries, or you start to have guys come off the injury list and start to play again. So whoever's the most healthiest, the last 2 or 3 games of the year, everybody gets back in sync. And if that team's on a roll and you're getting healthy, boy, look out, because those are the teams that are so dangerous to need the playoffs.
On a local level, and Connor, if you could pull the sound of Kyler Murray from Jonathan Gannon, I want to play that here in a minute. If you missed it, Jonathan Gannon confirmed that Kyler Murray's season is over.
Kyler will not play again this year. So he had some more tests done this week. Went out of state, got another opinion on it. It's not progressing where it's going to make sense that he can go. So he's going to be done for the year.
What type of foot injury is it?
He's got like a turf toe type of thing. Same thing, very similar to what Brock Purdy had. Under the toe there. His might be a little more, the biggest thing that's got to calm down is what I was reading and talking to a few people is the inflammation. Now, you might be able to move laterally, but if it's that right foot or left foot, your right foot, you got to push off the toe. Left foot, you got to come down on your instep, which is that toe. And I'm not quite sure. But the thing that was interesting is that Kyler Murray was out there practicing for a while, and they pretty much shut him down. And I remember Jonathan Gannon said, hey, we've got some packages for Kyler Murray. Remember that about 4 weeks ago? And I'm going, okay. And then all of a sudden they put him on IR 2 weeks ago. Did something happen at practice? Or what happened all of a sudden? Or did you see Jacoby Brissett playing good football? They're not winning. They're producing, been more productive scoring and yardage, and go, you know what? This is how this should look. Let's shut him down after 3 or 4 weeks to see how he's feeling, wink, wink. Or now that we're happy with the offense, at least what we're doing, let's just shut him down altogether because maybe they don't want him to get hurt and play the last couple of games and hurt his trade value. I don't know. There's more to the story here, Rock. It's just not. No, I agree. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that at all.
I'm not either. And again, I think a lot of us thought he was out anyway.
Exactly. What were we going to do? When they put him on IR, I just went, thumbs up. Jacoby's playing pretty good. You're probably going to trade him. He's not part of the program next year. And then you decide, let's just shut him down completely. And then we'll just – then after the season's over,
but you flip it around and, you know what he did in the 5 starts, this year. 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, right? But if he does go out there and he does do well, wouldn't that enhance his trade value?
I would think.
That he was injured, so you don't have to worry about that injury if you're going to make a move for him.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Put him out there.
Well, here's how I think about that. Maybe they've decided they're going to move on for him no matter what.
Yeah.
So if you put him out there, Rock, and he plays really good, the fans will go, well, wait a second. He won the last 2 games. He balled out. But in their mind, they're looking to move on. So I think from internal structure, and this is just my opinion, folks, they're shutting him down completely. They don't want him back out there. They want him getting re-injured. We want to make sure if we trade him or move on from the Cardinals, that he's completely healthy. And he's going to need a clean bill of health to move on to whomever anyway.
All right, the Suns, the Rockets, Kevin Durant says he's got the Houston team rolling. Suns are still waiting for Jalen Green, who's only played 1 game. So tonight, these 2 franchises will collide 6 months after the biggest trade in NBA history. Who's really winning that trade? We're going to break that down next. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from Right Toyota.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner and Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner and Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner and Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
At Stretch Lab, it's not just athletes getting better. It's everyday people moving and feeling their best. Each one-on-one session is customized to you, guided by certified flexologists who help improve mobility, flexibility, and recovery. Whether you're chasing touchdowns or chasing the kids, Stretch Lab keeps you loose, strong, and ready for anything. Stretch your potential today. Find your nearest location at stretchlab.com.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
today. Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411 24/7. That's catering to 411 247 or Venencias.com.
It's Friday, and the guys are live from Wright Toyota. Right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota, located at 77th Street and Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. Now back to the guys on ESPN 620.
5th overall. Durant on the move, working on Bailey. Spins over the top and scores. That's nasty, man.
Mark May in 15 minutes. Well, Suns and Rockets tonight. You just heard Kevin Durant there. And this matchup matters because it's the first real checkpoint in what was one of the wildest deals in NBA history. 17 Kevin Durant blockbuster from July. So that's 6 months. Here we are. 6 months later, what did Phoenix really get? What did Houston really become? And how do these two teams stack up when they hit the floor tonight? So the trade, of course, was big. Houston gets Kevin Durant, Clint Capella, 2031 second-round pick, and then Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the 10th pick, the 31st pick, the 41st pick, and a bunch of other picks, right? Then everyone else, Brooklyn, Atlanta, Golden State, Minnesota, and the Lakers mainly just moved money. So where is Durant right now? So this team's 14-5, winners of 8 of their last 10. He's averaging 25 points. When he was with the Suns, he was averaging about 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And he's fitting in quite well there. And Houston, of course, is an immediate title contender. They cleaned house to get their superstar, and they did. Now, for Phoenix, Jalen Green, 1 appearance this season. You know, he was supposed to be the long-term number 2 scorer, right? Well, we haven't seen that yet. Suns have still no idea what they will actually get from him and if he's going to fit in the system. We have 1 game, right? And then Dylan Brooks. Okay, I think we like Dylan Brooks. Defensively, toughness, getting some identity there. Malawatch, 7-1. You know, he's a project, yeah. And then Fleming and Briera, they're okay pieces to this. Brea. You gotta get that right.
That's all right.
And then, so I think the pros for the Suns, if you look at this, they got to rebuild some of their draft capital, younger assets, defense, long-term more flexible, but they don't have a closer right now. Kevin Durant's gone. Jalen Green's, you know, it just seems like it just gets delayed, and I don't think Booker can do this all by himself.
Well, and I think he's relieved that he has Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks when they play on a consistent basis.
Or just play.
Yeah, and it almost sounds like we were at this point last year when Bradley Beal was off and on. Kevin Durant was really the one that was playing the most, and then Book was out. So this groin injury for Devin Booker seems to pop up this time of year. But it's as if the Suns organization can't get their top stars on the court more than, 2-3 weeks at a time. So for like 2 or 3 years, we never really saw it because Bradley Beal was always hurt. KD rolled his ankle first time he got here. He was out for a while.
Yeah.
So we've never seen that consistency.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, he rolled his ankle the first
That
year.
was such a big story.
Unbelievable.
Like, what the?
It's like we thought the Cardinals were cursed. That Suns team. But I think that if Jalen Green can get healthy, that everybody's healthy at the right time, hopefully by mid-January, we'll have all hands on deck. Then we really see the winner of this trade. Now, I really feel as a Suns fan, I like the trade. I think KD can only do so much. As you mentioned, he's averaging, 25, 26 points a game. He's going to always get his points. And as far as rebounding is concerned, he averages, 5, 6 a game. He's not a big assist guy, but he's 50% field goal percentage guy. He's always going to get his points. But what I see more so with Dylan Brooks is more rebounding, more aggressiveness, more defensive side. Jalen Green, we kind of sort of don't know. We know we have a Booker. Booker will always be there, as far as making those mid-range shots. But I think the other thing that really helped is in this trade. It forced the Suns to keep Colin Gillespie, to have him playing more. Grayson Allen's playing more. Which, by the way, Grayson Allen will be playing tonight.
Yep.
It's just that I think that with this trade, the Suns benefited to the development of the young guys, as you mentioned, going and getting those young guys in the draft, and then the chemistry for what I think Jordan wants to do with those players I mentioned fits better than when KD was here. Now, don't get me wrong, folks. I love KD being here. It just, if we could have Bill healthy all the time and Booker healthy all the time and KD, who knows what might happen. But Bradley Beal was the fly in the ointment that could never get it together physically or his game on top of it. So I think after it's all said and done, I think both parties are happy.
You know, this stretch that starts today, and without Jalen Green, without Booker, it sounds as though, listen to Kevin Ray on 98.7 today, and, you know, he was saying, you know, if they could get a win or two, that will take it. I mean,
Sure.
you got Houston, then you got Timberwolves, and then you got the Thunder, then you got the Warriors back-to-back. You get them twice. That's a tough little stretch
Yeah,
there.
it is. Yeah.
A real tough stretch for the next 15 days.
And not to have your top dog in Devin Booker.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
I mean, and he was talking about the fact that, you know, don't look into it too much, but Devin could be a little bit longer than a week.
Well, and I think that his history is, everybody's saying he'll be evaluated next week. I'm saying, well, he probably may not be back for 2 or 3 weeks. To your point, you know, with Houston tonight, Minnesota, AKC, you would just love to have everybody healthy to see what you have, what you don't have. Now you're somewhat limited, you're handicapped. But then after that, Golden State, which Steph Curry's injured, they're not playing like they are. You got them in quasi back-to-backs. You got a couple days in between. And then you got the Lakers before you play New Orleans a couple times. So this stretch of 5 or 6 games leading into Christmas is really something I think that Jordan Knott's going to have to go, well, he's out for a while. He's out for a while. 2 of your starters are out. I mean, think about that. Green's out, Book's out. Then you're going to have to go in this with these guys.
I understand that, but I would say one of the starters is out because we haven't seen Jalen Green.
Well, I mean, he'll start once he's healthy. We know that. But
until you see him.
Until you see him. But in the meantime, Grayson Allen, Colin Gillespie, you got O'Neal's got to step up. Dunn's got to step up. Iguodala's got to step up. I think that from that standpoint, and Dylan Brooks, you just hope, as hard as he plays, you hope he can stay healthy at least the majority of the year.
And Suns are getting 10.5. So
they're getting plus 10.5.
Yeah. I thought it would be higher.
Well, where Houston beat them last was a week and a half ago, was that fourth quarter. They really took off on the Suns. You could see Suns are coming off, a back-to-back, the 3 out of 4. They just looked tired, didn't have the energy. But I think a little different deal. Dylan Brooks, you know, he's going to be motivated to go home. And where he's been playing in Houston the last couple of years. So he's going to be motivated, and he's going to take that attitude as, hey, yeah, we may be down Devin, we may be down Jalen Green, but don't use that as an excuse. What I think will be interesting will be the type of matchups that this Suns team's going to have. You know, you talked about Durant, Sengun. He's about, 6'1", got 25-foot arm length. He's a second leading scorer. He's averaging about 24 per game. And then Thompson, who blew the doors off the Suns the last time they were here, I think at 22, 24 points. He really shined. The other thing that shined that last game here against the Suns by Houston was their fast break points up and down the court. The turnovers by the Suns and the steals that Houston had were really prominent in that game. So, yeah, you would say that the Suns are going to be shorthanded, but if you're Dylan Brooks, he doesn't want to hear it. I think the Suns are competitive, but I think this Houston win's going away.
If Dylan Brooks could play like he did against the Lakers, that'd be great.
Well, I think he's been consistent that way.
Yeah,
he's been really consistent. I like the way he doesn't back down. He gets his average. He's good around the rim. Doesn't rely on his 3-point shooting. You know, he can shoot threes. I think the guy's going to like to step up, and I want to see how he grows during this time. Is going to be Mark Williams, the young guy. You know, he's going to have a day off in between these starts this time. There's no back-to-backs, so have some time off. So see him develop. And then with Nick Richards coming off the bench, I think that Jordan ought to really work with him as far as giving him those minutes if he needs them. But The only two guys that won't be available since Grayson Allen's back, Gillespie's back, will be Jalen Green and Book.
Have you seen an update on Jalen Green and when he is expected to come back?
They're projecting mid-January.
Really?
Yeah, mid-January with that hamstring. They want to make sure that he is completely unabated with his hamstring and his movements.
A lot of pickle juice.
It's a lot of stretching and treatment. I think it was more of a tear than a strain. I think what he probably did, had the strain, came back, played hard, and then he might have hurt it even worse or might have torn it. But I mean, we're talking about he's technically out a month and a half to 2 months from when he went out, 3 weeks ago. So they'll start maybe doing 5-on-5 with him, hopefully in a couple weeks. But again, like with Devin and with Jalen Green, I would just say make sure they're completely healthy before you bring them back, because you don't want to go all of a sudden Jalen Green and this team they're winning like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 12, and then he retweaks a hammy, and then Devin retweaks a groin strain. We just hope that by mid-January, end of January, this team is hitting on all cylinders going into March and April.
Hey, our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question. Did the Suns make the right move trading Kevin Durant? Your 4 choices are yes, needed to reset and build younger. 2, no, should have kept KD with Booker. 3, ask me again when Jalen Green plays more than one game. Or 4, doesn't matter. This roster wasn't winning a title anyway. Those are your 4 choices.
I said yes, needed to reset and build younger. I mean, and not only did they reset, they got some guys. They already had Gillespie on this team. They're fun to watch. But they got some good draft choices. You got Jalen Green, and then you got Dylan Brooks. That right there, I think the 2-for-1 will help this team in the long run and the way that they want to go. And I think with the philosophy Jordan has, I don't think his philosophy of getting up and down the floor on both sides of the court, not that Kevin Durant could do it. I think his defense was underrated, but I just think that that's what they want, guys that are get up and down the court more so than KD could.
All right, college football is about to enter full chaos mode. The rankings, the NIL, the coaching changes, the playoff drama. Mark May will join us after an update here, and he'll break it all down for us as we head into the championship weekend. So the 2-time Super Bowl champion, Mark May, weighs in next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B right here on ESPN 620 Phoenix.
Live from Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, it's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. The Arizona Cardinals are preparing for Sunday's game against the Los Angeles Rams. Unfortunately, they will be shorthanded once again. Quarterback Kyler Murray, as we've heard, is ruled out for the season. But now coming out, Marvin Harrison Jr. is officially ruled out, and running back Trey Benson still remains sidelined. When asked about it, Coach Gannon admitted he's unsure whether Benson will return or not this year. Meanwhile, the Suns gear up to bounce back tonight in Houston against KD and the Rockets, their first game of the weekend, but they'll have to do so without Devin Booker, who remains out with the groin strain. We're back this Monday for the Eagles at the Chargers. Watch party at our home with Monday Night Football, Biggs American Bar and Grill, right in the P83 district at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Join us from 1 to 4 for great food, cold drinks, and your shot at $10,000, where 20 fans will roll the jumbo dice for their cash. We hope to see you there at Biggs in Peoria. Mark May joins us next.
It's back. Sign up now for the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B annual Pro Football Pick'em Contest, powered by all 5 Twin Peaks locations. Pick the winners each week, score great prizes all season long, and earn bragging rights until next year. And don't forget, the guys are live every Thursday from 1 to 4 to kick off your football weekend at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. It's free to play and easy to join. Just head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com, powered by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views, and your home for pro football.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming, Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000 Mondays. Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Now to talk everything football is two-time Super Bowl champion, a member of the famed Washington Redskins Hodge offensive line, 1981 first-round pick, earned All-American honors at Pitt, and a member of the College Football Hall of Fame, football analyst and commentator Mark May, now on ESPN 620.
They have two tight ends in the game along with 6 offensive linemen. Mayfield under center takes the snap. He's going to throw. Looking back to the left, fires complete to Wirfs, who's standing by himself in the end zone for a touchdown. And it's 9-0 Tampa Bay as Tristan Wirfs leaked out to the left. Beautiful design and execution by the Buccaneers.
So we're playing highlights of games they lose.
Yeah.
Now.
Well,
That's how bad it is.
It was a tackle that caught a touchdown. So I'm just wondering if our next guest, Mark May, ever had a tackle-eligible touchdown.
Yeah, you have any touchdowns to your name, Mark?
No, I do not. But when I was with Washington and when I was with the Chargers and the Cardinals, I had some packages on short yardage and goal line where I would play tight end. When I was with the Chargers, we were playing the Raiders, and I ran a route in the end zone, and Ronnie Lott had me in coverage, dropped down to a knee, and just started laughing during the play and said, "There's no way my career's gone this bad, this fast, if I can't cover you."
Oh, that's awesome.
Good stuff. Hey, I thought I would see you at game day a couple weeks ago as your alma mater in Pittsburgh. You didn't make the cut? Guest appearance by Mark May, Hall of Famer?
No, I made the cut, but unfortunately I had another event that was planned in advance. I couldn't get out of it.
Oh, bummer. Hey, we hear today that Kyler Murray's surprise is out for the rest of the year.
Wink, wink.
What do you think's going on there? Are they covering this up, or what are they doing?
He's gone. It's inevitable. They finally realized, Bidwell finally realized he made a mistake, which all of us knew that was a mistake when he signed him in the first place to the extension on his contract. And looking back on it now, it's like, well, what did you get out of this? Absolutely nothing. You got losing seasons. You made one playoff in the 7 years, and you stunk it up in that playoff game, and you curled up like a baby on the turf when they saw Aaron Donald on the other side of the line when they played the Rams. So looking at the situation, this is the Cardinals, guys. What do you expect? You expect them to, before the season, it's like every year all these fans are like, hey, we're going to win this year. Let's pay extra money for those season tickets they just raised. Let's pay some extra money for parking that they just raised. Let's pay some more money for concessions. And the same exact thing happens 9 out of 10 years. You're sitting at home at Christmas watching the other teams play.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, college football, the current state of college football. Do you trust the top 4 as it stands, or do you see a real threat of some chaos when the final CFP rankings drop next week?
I think the top 4 look like they should stay intact. I think the only reason that you'd see some movement if Indiana gets crushed by Ohio State, they may move out of the top 4. But I don't think so. I think Indiana's just a tough team. They're going to hang in there. That's going to be closer than most people think, and they've got a chance to win that game. You know, they've got a proven quarterback in Mendoza that basically has been around for a long time, 4+ years, almost 5+ years now. And he knows he's been through some tough times, some good times and bad times, going against a freshman quarterback and Santa on the other side. But if you look at the other games that are being played, you know, Georgia and Alabama, Alabama's really controlled Georgia. They've won, 10 out of the last 11 games they faced Georgia. They won 4 in a row at the Mercedes Dome against Georgia. So they really kind of have their number. So it's one of those situations where that's going to be a tough game. If Georgia wins it by a field goal or Alabama wins it by a field goal, you know, they'll probably swap places. That's about it. But if you look at the rest of the teams, I think it probably stays status quo.
How about the ACC maybe shut out, Mark?
How about Duke?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. With 5 losses, they could win the ACC, but they already played once against Virginia, and they basically got crushed against them already earlier this season. So when you look at that game and break it down, if things go as they should go, UVA should win that game. But if not, it's one of those things where, you know, UVA beat them 34-17 the first time, and they're a 3.5-point favorite. But Duke's playing pretty good ball right now, and Manny Diaz has done a terrific job with his football team. I thought he may have an opportunity to get the Penn State job because of what he's accomplished at Duke, but they've kind of gone over his head, and I guess he's going to be staying at Duke. But, you know, looking at the ACC, they could get shut out. But my biggest question in this whole deal, guys, is why is BYU getting screwed? You've got a team that's 11-1. Their only loss is to Texas Tech, a team that's ranked in the top 5. And this is a football team that's defeated everybody else in a Power 4 conference, in their non-conference opponents. And everybody's talking about Miami and Notre Dame. How about BYU? Even if they lose a close game to Texas Tech, they still should be ranked ahead of those two teams, because the bottom line is when you look at this football team, they may be a better team, one, but if it's all fair, they only have the 1 loss. So even if they have 2 losses, they shouldn't be penalized because they played in the conference championship game.
Okay, so how would you expect the committee to answer that? If you're right on, you're spot on. I agree with you, Mark. So what's the committee looking at that we're not seeing? What are they deciding?
I think what they're doing is they're doing the biggest CYA this football season, because they dropped Miami when they lost to UVA down to number 17. Remember that? They lost, they lost to Louisville down to 17. Then all of a sudden they miraculously jump up. The only reason why they jumped up is because other teams lost, not because of their spectacular player. They played any great football teams. Look at their schedule. It's just as weak as Notre Dame's. And I don't have Notre Dame ranked in there either. I have them both ranked outside of the top 12. The bottom line is, when you look at both these teams, I don't think either of them deserve to be ranked. You can say, well, they've got 2 losses and they played Texas. If you look at these teams the way they play, do you really trust Mario Cristobal in a tough situation where he's got to make a coaching decision, where it's clock management or a play management in the end of the game when the pressure's on? Because he hasn't proven that to me that he can do that and step up and make the right decision. Because I don't trust him in that situation.
Is it brand bias for this committee?
Yeah, why does Notre Dame get a pass? I've got a lot of friends at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame people, they're all friends of mine, but I just don't understand why it continually, either it's the BCS or it's now in the playoffs, but they continue to get a pass because they don't play a conference game. When everybody's out there getting beat up and getting nicked up and possibly injured playing conference championship games, Notre Dame doesn't have to face one. They can sit home every single year and watch everybody else get knocked around where they can get healthy.
So, Mark, you just said something about Ohio State and Indiana game. You said that if Indiana gets blown out, they may drop. I guess my question for the committee and maybe for you is, these guys have played so hard and they've beaten all who they're supposed to beat. So if they have one bad game, so you're saying is that the style points, eye candy, will have a bigger influence on their actual power ranking during the year if they get blown out and they drop 3 or 4 spots?
Absolutely. Look at the way that the selection committee's done already. They looked at Miami, they looked at Notre Dame and Miami, and they said, well, gosh, Notre Dame put 70 on Syracuse. Well, Syracuse stunk this year. Everybody put 40 or 50 points on Syracuse. And they were raving about, well, this is the way that they played against Syracuse and their common opponent, and they just blew them off the field. It's like, that's what you're going by? Teams that are terrible, that aren't even going to bowl games that you're comparing these two teams to? You know, when they get up there and talk about the selection committee, and these guys get up there, it's almost like a laughing stock when you listen to them. Listen to their words each and every week. It's almost like they parse words every week just to cover their butts. And then when it doesn't come to fruition, they'll jump to something else. Well, they had game control in this game because they ran the ball effectively in the fourth quarter. That doesn't mean a dang thing. Bottom line is scoreboard, who you played, and if you played a tough schedule. Every time you look at the SEC, and I'm not an SEC guy, but the bottom line is they play 3, 4, 5, 6 ranked teams every year. And if you can lose 2 games and be 10-2, you deserve to be in the playoffs, and possibly 3 losses. I put a 3-loss SEC team versus any 2-loss Big Ten team.
Are you okay with this 12-team playoff, or would you like to see a change there now?
I didn't even want it to go to 12. If they're going to keep doing this garbage because of money, it'll be 16 the next time around because they were supposed to do it earlier in December and it got pushed back until the spring. Then they're probably going to move it from that to another number. It's like, by the time this decade is over, we'll probably be up to 32 or 64 teams.
It'll be the NCAAs in football, right, Mark?
It's stupid. It's like it gets ridiculous to some point. It's like, how many teams can you have there? Every time when a team's left out, they complain and they moan because of this and that. Well, take care of your business during the season and you won't complain. If you go out there and win games, you can get to the playoff.
As you watch, let's say the top 12 as of today, I can't imagine Texas sneaking in the back door. Sorry, Paul Feinbaum, not going to happen. Watching the teams now, who do you really feel has gained traction, has that traction, or has the consistency to go through the playoffs and win this whole thing? Is it truly Ohio State, or is there somebody else you like as well?
It's Ohio State, and I think the reason is because Matt Patricia. They had the number one scoring defense last year. They lost their defensive coordinator to Penn State. They bring in Matt Patricia, and they're scoring 4.5 points less per game this year. We're the number one scoring defense. I think that's always going to keep them in games because the way that he can confuse offenses, what he does defensively, moving people around, shifting people around, that's what's created a lot of problems for their opponents this year. But I look at another team. I look at Texas Tech. For some reason, this team, I know they went out and bought a lot of money, paid a lot of money and brought a lot of players in, but it looks like they're just starting to click now. And this is the only team in college football that's beaten their opponents by 20 points or more, and their average margin of victory is 32.4 points a game. It's like they're blowing everybody out. They don't play close games, and if they can continue to play that way and stay healthy, that's a team that's going to get scary when we get to the playoffs.
All right, Ole Miss has got their guy gone. Lane Kiffin's moved on. I don't know who's left, but Ole Miss, I like what I saw. But then there's Texas A&M. Our guy Colin Klein going to go to K-State, but he will stay behind and coach, the A&M offense. With some of the change, even and then Hartline as well too, going to Florida, but he's going to stay back and coach. Do you put any merit into that or not into that in reference to coaches either moving on like Lane or Colin Klein going to K-State but still staying back?
No, I think it's program by program, whatever you believe in. If you like your assistant coach, you want to keep him, and he's done a lot for your program, you keep him. If you're a head coach and you leave and go someplace else, I don't think you should stay. But I think if you're an assistant, why not? Because basically you're helping that program, and usually when those situations arise, the head coach of the team that you're leaving wants you to stay there, but he wants to help you get that head coaching job also. So they're usually pretty good with that. When you're a solid head coach, you don't have to worry about somebody sneaking around trying to take your job, and you're pretty strong in your position. But when I look at the Ole Miss situation with Lane, guys, you know this is going to happen. 4 years from now, you know what's going to happen to LSU? Lane's going to leave and go someplace else, and it ain't going to be pretty. Because the way that he left Alabama, Nick wouldn't let him coach in the national championship game or call plays. If you look at the Raiders, L. Davis said he was Brooker, the cheat or whatever. He fired him. Pat Hayden fired him on the tarmac at USC. Then he leaves Tennessee and runs to USC in the middle of the night with Tennessee players and Tennessee followers and fans in the support system that he had there and didn't let them know to the last second. So when Lane leaves, you know there's going to be an uprising. It's going to be an ugly, bad situation. So on merit, I can guarantee you, mark your calendar right now. 4 years from today, hopefully if we're all living and we're all healthy, we're talking about this 4 years from now, and I can say, I told you so, Lane's going to leave LSU, and it's going to be ugly, and he's going to go someplace else.
All right, NCAA President/Commissioner Mark May, how do you fix the coaching scenario of leaving prior to the end of the season? Do we throw in the Lane Kiffin rule here somewhere along the line?
I think so. I think the first thing you do is you move the national signing date back. You can't have it the first week of December because teams are still playing one and they haven't even gotten their conference championship games. So the first thing you do is you move that back because that puts a lot of pressure on coaches to leave if you've got a great recruiting class. The other thing is when coaches during the season leave, I don't think they should be allowed to take their entire staff with them until the season is over. Because what's the deal? You signed the contract. Lane signed the contract to be at Ole Miss. He's done some tremendous things there. First time they won 10 games in a regular season. But at the end of this, it's like with your buyout, there should be another paragraph in there that says, if you get the buyout and you leave before the season's over, you cannot contact our assistant coaches until our season is over. I think that will help a lot because coaches will think twice about, well, I'm going to LSU and I'm bringing my whole entire offensive staff with me. Well, guess what? It says in your contract you can't do it. So a lot of coaches will think twice about leaving during the season.
Lot of moves. 26, 27. Now we're hearing Matt Campbell possibly heading to Penn State, trying to work that deal. Is there one or two head coaches that maybe a head scratcher or the flip side of that? Like I think Michigan State won with Pat Fitzgerald. I think that was a great hire. What do you
I
think
think that
about
was
that
good
hire?
hire.
And then, of course, some of the others.
Yeah, I think the best hire out there was Virginia Tech and James Franklin. Because one, they got a heck of a coach, a quality coach, a guy that can recruit, a guy that can develop, a guy that understands the NIL system, a guy that's won at Vanderbilt in the SEC before Vanderbilt became popular the last couple of years. So he can go and he can do the dirty work and he can do the hard work. 2, he's a proven winner. 3, Virginia Tech's putting a ton of money in their athletic department and their football program. So for James Franklin, he made the best of this. At Penn State, winning 9-10 games a year and just being, into the playoffs, if they were in the playoffs, if that's not good enough for Penn State, it's good enough for Virginia Tech because they gave him a ton of money and they hired him and they helped his staff and they put a lot of money in their coaches pool. So I think that's the best hire out there. And don't be surprised if Virginia Tech turns it around within a year with help in the transfer portal. If you look at the recruiting that he did, he took a bunch of players that Penn State signed or Penn State agreed to verbally before the signing day, brought them to Virginia Tech. So I expect Virginia Tech to be one of the best teams in the ACC next year.
And, Mark, I'll leave you with this. As you know, I do the high school broadcasts, and we did the St. John's game last week against Scottsdale Christian. St. John's is on the Apache Indian Reservation, very indigenous nation. They are still called the St. John's Redskins.
Yes.
So just so I'd let you know, that's an indigenous nation. It's the Apache Reservation. The years, they embrace it. And I know you've been there. I think we all are. We're big Redskin fans. Just to let you know that that's on an actual reservation, and they kept the Redskins name.
Will you tell them if they need any support from me to come out and give them a pep talk or anything like that, give me a call.
I'll do it. They'd love to have you.
That's Mark May. Mark, as always, buddy, thank you for your time. Have a great weekend.
All right, guys, you too. That's
Mark May. You laying it out, as he always does. We appreciate the 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Redskins. He's courtesy of Wright Toyota, the right place, the right selection, always the right dealership located in Scottsdale on Franklin Wright Boulevard. Wright Toyota always has the right deal for everyone. You can check out their full inventory of pre-owned certified vehicles under $15,000, all online at wrighttoyota.com. Is there any paybacks today? All right.
I think so.
Got to produce your paybacks next, right here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Tease the season at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, featuring the new Bushnell Wingman HD speaker. This revolutionary speaker has a built-in 3.5-inch touchscreen with front, center, and back distances, now $199. Don't forget we have gift cards in any amount for the special golfer in your life. Shop us in-store or online at worldwidegolf.com. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, proudly serving golfers since 1963, and home of the legendary 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net, personal, reliable, and supportive. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. With Crest, you're not only protecting what matters most, but also helping to build stronger, more resilient communities. Crest Insurance, service you can count on.
Talk about stepping up! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
On the job, every minute counts. That's why Lowe's now has ProBlock Quick Dry Primer, expertly manufactured by Sherwin-Williams. Engineered for pros to dry fast and go on smooth for virtually flawless results that keep your job moving. It's available in oil and water-based, and getting it is easy. Order online by 2 p.m. and get free same-day delivery right to your job site. Lowe's, we help, you save. Orders placed after 2 p.m. will be delivered next day. Valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. More terms apply.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and you know I'm a big fan of Sonic and their all-star selection of burgers, and now they have added an MVP to their lineup, and this one is so good you should head to Sonic right now. Introducing the all-new pretzel bacon Sonic Smasher, 2 hand-smashed Angus beef patties, crispy bacon, pub sauce, plus a buttery soft pretzel bun. It is the ideal burger for armchair quarterbacks everywhere, and only at Sonic. Live free, eat Sonic.
Watch out. It's time for Producer's Payback.
It's time!
CC and Laz are stepping out from behind the glass to stir up some fun with the guys. Surprises, laughs, and a little chaos guaranteed.
But you don't say that.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and 98.7 HD-2.
Let's round the boys out. The crew up.
All right, boys, keys are yours. Start driving.
Go for it, CC. Hold on, I'm putting this up here. All right, so I'll start us off today. We just have a few quick ones. We're going to kick things off with Manuch, who realized he has said the wrong team name, then proceeded to fumble it even worse.
Even watching the Commodores game last night, too, on both sides of the ball, it's like the San Diego Chargers. When you say let's just San Diego.
Always. Or even the Oakland Raiders.
It's like the Commodores.
Oakland Raiders, LA Raiders, Vegas Raiders.
And I had the Commodores on my mind.
Yeah, Vanderbilt Commodores.
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah, Vanderbilt. Well, and the Commodores, Richie and the boys.
All right, CC.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm glad that you guys brought up the San Diego Chargers one because it didn't just start with Manuch there. Jimmy B had a rough day where he forgot his preparation too.
The show goes from 1 to 4, and then we hang out for Monday Night Football, and it is a good one. The Eagles at the San Diego Chargers.
LA Chargers.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I knew it'd get you sooner or later.
I can't believe I did that. It's been so long, and I still the San Diego Chargers. San Diego.
You've been off for about 3 weeks.
Chargers. Oh, man.
A little rusty over there.
Oh, golly.
The WD-40.
Yeah, really. The LA Chargers, man.
There was nothing about going back to 2016 and then his little song at the end just to make sure he really hammered it home.
Jeez.
And last but not least, we'll keep it going with mispronunciations.
Oh, God.
Jimmy B got a little twisted around and introduced a soon-to-be Hollywood star instead of a U of A insider.
A former U of A tight end. He hosts the pre- and post-game shows on the U of A network. Glenn Powell is our guest. You can find him on X.
Glenn Howell.
What did I say?
Howell.
Oh, sorry. Glenn
P. Howell.
P. Howell.
There you go.
There we go. Well, it came out Powell. It's the same. You can find him on X at Glenn P. Howell.
Glenn Howell is doing Wildcats radio, not in the next Top Gun.
I'm going to defend him on that one because Jimmy's looking at the lineup and it's showing his
Twitter handle,
and
is
you
Glenn
see
P.
P in
Howell.
there, and it's easy to, he should have got.
Well, he's only been introducing him for, I don't know, 3 years now. I mean, no big deal. Just a slight slip here.
Well, I got PJ Fleck and Matt Campbell mixed up to start the show today.
We got that one timestamped.
I'm
Don't
like,
worry.
good. I'm like, Penn State, they just hired a coach from Minnesota.
Right.
I think it's great.
The day, was it Tuesday? Jimmy had his Smarties candies all day.
Yeah.
He was money. So we got to give him sugar before a game. And Smarties. I said, damn, you are a
Christmas
smart
gift.
Oh, well, I know where he got it. He goes, yeah, I bring my Smarties. You know where he got his Smarties, all that candy? On the front desk when you walk into the studio, there's Aaron up there. Yeah, Aaron's got that
Stealing it
jar.
from the front desk.
I said, so
Can he reach up to get
Well,
it? I mean,
she's got a little
Reaching for the sky to grab it.
little stepping stool. He's got to get in there.
Hey, real quick, Manuch, you got some football this weekend,
Yeah,
right?
we do. We got starting tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll have Canyon View, a big game taking on Canyon View taking on Desert Mountain tonight in the 5A.
Almost.
Yeah.
Wow. Next week.
I've got two others, and then tomorrow we got the Open. This is the late game at 6 o'clock. It'll be Chandler taking on Basha, and then the noon game. I got to think about this a little bit. It'll be Centennial taking on Castile. So it'll be full of football. Will be on AZTV AZ Family TV. That'll be going on.
All right, the programming here on ESPN 620 is tonight. We have the American Championship between North Texas and Tulane. Tomorrow morning, they'll kick things off with the Big 12 Championship, BYU, Texas Tech. And then later in the afternoon, it will be the ACC Championship with Duke and Virginia. And then on Sunday, we'll be simulcasting the Cardinals game. Pregame starts at 9:30, but the broadcast will be on here too at 2:25. But that, and then the Suns are coming up here at 5 o'clock on the mothership, 98.7. So here come the Suns, followed by the pregame, and then Suns, Rockets, and Kevin Durant.
KD, the Suns going there to take on KD and the team. Rock, can your Eagles get back on track Monday night? They'll be at Biggs, hopefully giving away a lot of cash. Got to go to the L.A. Chargers. Jimmy, if you're listening, they got to get off the schneid with Saquon Barkley, man. Can't run.
Carter's out. I don't know, man. I don't feel good about this Eagles team right now. The last 2 weeks have just been just horrible. You know, to be up 21 on the Cowboys and they get beat, and then they just look awful. Like you said earlier, they just can't get Saquon Barkley
Can't get him going.
And Sirianni's getting criticized on the play calling, and rightfully so. But Friday night against the Bears, I just was like, Bears aren't that great.
They're
good.
solid.
They're solid. They're winning. They're winning games.
Yeah,
so I can't take that away from them. But the Eagles I think they lost it. The Bears didn't win.
If you remember this time last year, the Eagles were starting to get it. They were starting to get on a roll. They rolled all the way through the Super Bowl, won it. Now
I'm not confident right now.
They started strong. They're a little bit of a lull right now, but I think they'll be okay. The losing Carter's huge, but you got to get Barkley going because Jalen Hurts not going to be able to win it on his own with the passing game. And then you got your boy A.J. Brown bitching and moaning about not getting the ball enough. He got 2 touchdown passes last week.
No.
Yeah. Well, he's a big dude. I think
he goes after it, man. I mean, if you're an up-and-coming wide receiver, he's the guy you want to watch.
Arizona Cardinals this weekend, I think you're going to see a very upset Rams team. Everybody's saying what could be close. I think the Rams blow the doors off the Cardinals this
couple
week.
Touchdowns.
I think it's by at least
that was the DraftKings pick.
Yeah,
I was all over that.
I bet at least what the 8.5 is what the current line is. I think this Rams team will see Matthew Stafford go off.
And I think the team's going to be really bummed that the news came out today that Kyler Murray's
they'll be so upset. Yeah.
He's out for this season.
He's been MIA, I think, the last 4 or 5 weeks.
I can't. This is going to be a hell of an offseason. You're looking for a franchise quarterback.
Standard, it's going to be very interesting who's going to end up where, who gets drafted. And I think that a lot of these scouts are going, there's probably 3 or 4 solid quarterbacks. I think you're going to see a lot of free agent moves in the quarterback situation. Because if Gannon stays, he's going to want an experienced quarterback, i.e. Jacoby Brissett, but you'll need somebody of experience to back him up as well.
All right, Monday Bigs. Hopefully you'll come out and join us. Manuch, have a good time next week.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Good time off before the holiday swarm hits.
Yeah, even though I basically gave you guys all off during the holidays too.
All right.
So, I mean,
I got to rest up.
Month off.
Got to rest up for the holidays.
Yeah, you do. We know you have choices. Appreciate you making us part of your day. We'll do it again 1 o'clock on Monday. Have a great weekend, and let's see if the Cardinals can maybe throw in an upset. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something.
I would see you Monday. Have a great weekend.